Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Sometimes the best show is before the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes the best radio and television we don't even capture, unfortunately.
Right.
We're going to do our best to bring it to you here on day number 5 on a Friday with the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. You look sharp as always.
So do you.
But
Yeah, man.
here's we'll get to
the shoes.
we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, the shoes are actually from Italy. I'm pretty proud of the shoes.
There you go.
Here's the thing. I'm watching the intro, and I don't know why I never caught this before. No pun intended. It has you number 80 a few times. Did you start wearing 80 and then switch to 1?
With all due respect to my wonderful co-host Matt Sheppard,
all right.
who's an amazing individual, where have you been?
Yeah, take the shot. Go ahead.
Part of the
I deserve it.
You know what you do? Just actually,
Yeah.
you deserve it in this sense. Part of the story of the number one, at least for me, maybe not Dave Terrell, maybe not Derek Alexander, maybe not Butterfield, McMurtry, or the original OG AC. I had to get 80 first. Like I asked Coach Carr once we came up in the summer. I said, "Hey, Coach, I would like number 1." My dad played with AC. I know what 1 is. I know what 1 means. And then Dave Terrell was somebody I looked up to when I was in high school as well. Well, Braylon, no. Can't have number 1. You got to earn it.
Oh,
So what's your next number? And if you earn it, we can revisit this conversation after the year. So he gave me 80 and like instantly motivation. I'm pissed off. I'm like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to turn up. First year I played, I didn't redshirt, but 3 catches, 38 yards, trying to figure out the space. I was a little bit more immature than I think I like to let on.
Aren't we
led to
all?
believe.
Yeah.
We are.
Right. Yeah.
We are. You look back, you can see it. So that was 80 first.
The
3
maturity is a
catches.
little different. I mean, with you, it's on the football field.
Yeah, the
With
maturity
people
on-
like Ricky and Kool-Aid and me, it's upside down beer bongs and when to stop. Yeah.
You know what?
Never did a beer bong.
Maybe.
Come on.
Never did a beer bong?
That was my dad had 2 rules for me when we went to high school. He goes, "Look, you're a football player. I know you're gonna be drinking." He said, "Don't drink and drive, and it's 3. Don't drink and drive. Don't mix alcohol and energy drinks, and never do beer bongs. They're for
That
white
alcohol
boys."
and energy drink was a good one. That was a pretty good
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. I
They
never,
used,
I
they
didn't
used to
do it.
get people. They used to
That's
get
smoking
people in
from a man
trouble.
who's got experience right there.
You know
That's a
what?
good one.
I can either confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
But I will say that is a good one. Fast forward, I didn't do anything. I went and asked Coach anyway. Hey, Coach, get out of my office. So I left. It was worth a shot.
Yeah.
Sophomore year, we had some ups and downs, but I finished off with 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 60 catches. And I went back and had the
Pretty damn
conversation.
good. Yeah.
I was second team All Big Ten. I went back and asked him again, Shep, and he says, "Let me think about it." I was like,
Come on, man.
what does a brother got? I got 1,000 yards. I thought that was the benchmark.
Yeah.
But he allowed me to get the number before spring ball. We sat me down. We had a conversation and told me what came with it. And there was a lot. And he expected a lot. And he acted on that. My junior year, I was able to kind of settle in by my senior year. And the rest is history. But Lloyd made me earn that jersey. And
Good for him.
He took it back from me.
Did he really?
He took it back from me. I was late for a meeting.
Wow.
My junior year in training camp, I was late for a meeting, and he made me wear 80 the rest of training camp.
I really, that's a great story.
No,
That
it's
is
not.
great.
Who
Yeah,
wants-
no, that is a
That's
great
not
story.
fair.
First of all, what was the inspiration behind 80?
Jerry Rice. It's the
Okay.
that's the reason why I played
It's
again.
a great one.
Jerry Rice.
Did you feel differently? This is corny, but did you feel differently wearing 1?
Numbers make you. Like, that may sound silly as I don't know what, and that's fine. It's true. You ask anybody that plays a game or played at any level, when they got the number that they wanted, when they got the number that they feel they resonated with, for me it was always 1. It's like it's like the switch flip.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies in the 80s is Over the Top. Sylvester Stallone, little arm wrestling movie. I'm a sly guy. I'm a sly guy.
It is a cheesy movie, but
It's
yeah,
cheesy,
it works.
but
I get it.
It's Stallone.
Yeah.
Remember he had the hat switch?
Yeah.
It's like he's right here with it, and he's just regular arm wrestler. But when you switch that thing to the back, and then you do the over the top, Lincoln Hawk, shout out to Lincoln Hawk, it's like you turn into a machine. If you get the jersey number that's yours, that's why these guys get into the league, make Pro Bowls, they make all rookie teams and do all this, and then what happens year 2, year 3, here comes the jersey switch, because they believe that this number is synonymous with them.
You got to live up to it.
100%.
Yeah.
And I will always believe that number 1 is synonymous with me. I want it. I fought for it. I worked for it. I got it, and
I love it.
I did that.
What about in the pros?
Shout out, Bray.
What was the 17 significance?
2 things. 1, Michigan State scored. We were down 17 when we came back my senior year.
That's why you wore it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
One more
always like
time
a
for the
little
people in the
ode
back.
to
Yeah.
the game.
Wow.
So, I'd be lying. I knew that game represented a little bit more than I led on to believe. But 2, no one had 17. So in 2004, the NFL finally allowed wide receivers to wear team digits, not single digits yet, but team digits. Everybody that came into the league that year, Larry Fitzgerald, Roy Williams of the Detroit Lions, Rashad Woods, Lee Evans, go down the list, they all got number 11.
Yeah.
Because 11 is like a double one. So everybody got 11. I didn't want that. I didn't want to come in and get the same number that everybody else had.
I like
17 was a number that no receiver had or no receiver that did anything had, and only really had notoriety with Harold Carmichael in the 70s.
That's right.
So
Who was awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And he worked for player development for the Eagles. A cool dude. Good dude.
That's very cool. Devontae Adams now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. I love that. Did you guys ever have numbers when you played sports that were really important to you, and why?
Yeah, Mr. Baseball over here.
Hey, look, baseball, my pops, man, he was an all-city player. He grew up on the west side of Detroit, on Glendale. He played a lot of baseball, man. But my basketball number, 33, Grant Hill.
Grant Hill.
I got caught up in the Grant Hill fever and the Grant Hill mania. He was on the Sprite commercials. He was on the McDonald's, and it was like Detroit finally has their superstar. We were
He was
always
the best
told
player
that they
in the
wouldn't
league, too.
choose to come
Yeah,
here.
and he was a great dude.
we drafted
by the way.
In 94.
He is a great dude.
Or 95.
Yeah.
I swear by Grant Hill. That's a good one. 33 for Grant Hill. I love it. How about you, Ricky?
No, my number always changed a lot. We'll get to more of the stories, but my positions always changed, so they're always just throwing different numbers at me. I had anything from 5 to 62 to 55 to 20. It was crazy.
Ricky's inspiration depending on what position am I playing today.
Sometimes that's the way it goes. It's tough to be a running back and wear number 63.
Right, exactly.
I get it. Yeah.
What about you?
I wore number 3 when I played baseball. I wore 3 for Alan Trammell.
Hey,
I wore
let's go.
number 11 when I played football because I thought it was a really cool quarterback number, and that's what I played. And believe it or not, this is kind of stupid. It wasn't Greg Landry. It was Danny White. I don't know. I know. But
Who's Danny White?
Danny White was the quarterback who replaced Roger Staubach.
There we go.
Played at Arizona State, later became a head coach. And when it was basketball, I just carried over the 3 from baseball. I mean, that's what I wanted to do. But I do believe you're right. I think numbers are very personal, you know? And I love your 17 story because you're paving a new path.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're the trailblazer per se in the NFL, but for you are. I mean, it's how many other seriously, how many other people that you know of wore 17 in the NFL?
First of all, I believe I am the trailblazer.
Okay.
And this is me tapping into my Detroit roots. We think we're the reason for everything. Shout out to my city, 313. You know,
What up, though?
It's like that. What up, though? No one had 17 at that time that played receiver that was doing anything. So I chose number 17. The number looked so good in my press conference, speaking of Michigan State. Guess who decided to follow suit after I got drafted?
Plaxico Burress.
There you go. Plaxico Burress got his 17 a month after I got mine. He bought it from the kicker. I think he paid, they publicized this, $45,000, $50,000, whatever it was.
Yikes.
He bought his from the kicker. And then Plax goes on to have a really good career. Obviously, wins the Pro Bowl. Not wins the Pro Bowl. Won a Super Bowl. Had a touchdown on the slant go at the end of that Super Bowl. So he did great things, but he got it after me. Then after me, then it's Plaxico. Now you're starting to see more. Now you have Devontae Adams. Now 17 has become that number that 11 was. Like when you come into the league, 17 is a wide receiver number that you get. But now they do single digits, so you can get 1982, whatever you want.
I believe Le'Veon Bell,
Yeah.
former Spartan, also wore
100%.
17. Was it a kicker's number before? What was it?
Kicker,
Or
quarterback.
Yeah, I think Brian Sipe, who played for Cleveland,
100%. The
wore
cardiac
number
kids.
17. Yeah,
Cardiac kids. Somebody wore it in the Super. Jake Delhomme.
that's right.
Wore 17
For
in the
Carolina.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, good one. Yeah.
So 17 was a quarterback, kicker, punter, the whole 9 yards, and
I like it.
I was like, it's also how it looks. Like, I'm not a fat receiver, I'm not a short receiver, so some numbers I reject.
Wait a minute. What do you mean you're not a fat receiver?
Like,
You're not
like,
fat.
Of course you're not.
18
I
is
feel
a
attacked.
18 is a bigger
18
body
you-
receiver.
you
like
think
Mike Williams is a big body receiver. 18 will
But
look
he's
better
13.
on him.
Mike Williams. I'm
Mike
sorry.
Williams.
Yeah, Mike Evans
Williams.
is
13 is an ugly number.
18 is Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but Justin Jefferson is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, and he grew into that number, so you don't care what he's wearing at this
funny.
point.
That's
But
one of my favorite lines. I'm not a fat receiver.
I'm just saying,
How many
certain
receivers?
numbers
We're not.
don't
We're
work.
not yeah, but we're
I don't
not.
like 6. I don't like 18. I don't like 16, 14. Shout out to Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't like any of the 13. 13 to 16.
You think it makes you look fat, or it
just-
is a fat number?
It's a bit of both. Like, one, it can be a fat number because the 6 is way over here, and the 1, at least when I came out, the numbers are different now. Nike or Fanatics, whoever's doing the jerseys are very thin, whatever.
Yeah.
But when I was coming out, the 6 was a
good
big
font.
6.
Yeah.
The 8 was, you guys know what I'm talking about. The 8 was a bigger number. Like, the 4 was kind of weird, like a quarterback. 13's unlucky. Anyway,
Yeah.
Mike Evans makes it look good. He's going to Hall of Fame. So I have
Dan Marino would argue, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I think for the
He's
most
a
part,
quarterback.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's a quarterback.
Yeah.
17 was like, I can get the 11 feel, but a little bit of a curve. So it was some thought that went into 17. It wasn't just, hey, I'm a Brown, here's 17.
Mm-hmm.
I thought a little bit.
I like that. That's a
that's
really
dope.
cool story. Yeah.
There you go.
You do look good though, whether you're in 17 or your golf clothes. Did you play golf today?
I did play golf. You said you would play with your father before the show. I played with Pops.
Oh, that's
and my
awesome.
stepmom.
Yeah, I would play with my father just because I lost him at an early age. So I wish I could have it back. But yeah, I mean that's great. You and your dad played. So
It's fun,
where did
man.
you play and how'd you do?
We played down the street only because it's right,
Down the street. Yeah.
right down here, man. Played well. I shot 86,
Okay.
but it's the course we were at. I'm not giving any kudos to that course.
Well, can I ask you a question? Do you play better on better courses?
Yeah.
So do I. I'm not great, but by any stretch, I'm not going to embarrass myself. But no one's going home and going, I'll tell you what, man, I played with that Sheppard today. He was unbelievable. No, you're not doing that. But I seem to feel more like a golfer
Yeah.
and play better on better manicured courses.
Okay.
If I play a dog track, I usually play like a dog.
Ricky, I'm gonna ask you a question, get you involved. And shout out to the chat, man. We appreciate you guys, man. I know I haven't engaged with you much, but look, it's week 1, week 2, we're gonna turn it up a notch. Ricky, tell me you've gone to Lifetime Fitness or Planet Fitness or any place that has a basketball court. You've got to run on. You've got your boys coming up there, and you play against some straight bums.
Yeah.
I'm talking about some guys that cannot hoop. You look at them and you're laughing when you're off the court, like, man, we about to come
Shout out
up
to
with
Lifetime
wax these
Commerce.
guys. What happens a lot of times when you play these pickup games and these runs? You play down to the level of your competition.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you got a bunch of guys that's 5'5" that probably work at one of these restaurants around here in their
Yeah.
spare time, and they done ran you off the court. I feel the same as you about the golf course. Sometimes when you play a bad course, you play bad because you're like, this
Yeah.
course isn't anything, so you don't take it seriously. Just like when you play that bad team at the IM building in U of M, and you got all these guys that are going to the NFL, you're like, look at these chemistry majors.
Yeah.
look at these psych majors. And then you got to wait your turn because you just lost. And now
Yeah.
you got to wait
Y'all
5-6
messing
games.
around.
Because you play down to the level of your competition. I agree with you.
Before the show, before Braylon showed up, God bless Ricky. He's worked 3 different shows, I
Yeah,
believe,
man.
on this
I've had a
station.
great, and I've had a great day. I'm having a great time.
Kool-Aid's worked a couple of different shows.
Yeah.
So Ricky's in the soft chair, just getting a little bit of a massage.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid, the great teammate that he is, brings him in some food. and Ricky looks at me and says, "Oh man, I really appreciate this." And
Still
he
eating it.
ate that like a pit bull on a poodle, man. He was all over.
It's funny
it.
because Kool-Aid said it's enough for 2 people. I have like 5 bites left.
Yeah, yeah.
Legit, I'm
And
almost
trust me,
done.
at the next commercial break, that will be inhaled.
100%. Can't wait.
So I look at Ricky and I say, "Hey, what do you got there?" He says, "I've got Indian food."
no, it's Mediterranean. Mediterranean.
Okay.
Oh,
We
I
mentioned
thought
Indian.
Kool-Aid said it was Indian food. Either way, it's a little different than
Yeah.
your typical
burgers and fries or something.
State of the art, yeah, which is what I had and spilled all over me. I just got this shirt back.
Too bad. That's a nice outfit.
I got
man.
it. I just got it back from the dry cleaners, and I got a mustard spot here, a mustard spot there, a mustard spot there, and then one on my pants too.
It must have been good.
At least.
It was really good, but
There it
my
is.
kids always make fun of me because all I do is spill all over myself like an idiot. Anyway, Ricky's one of those guys who he's not afraid to try different foods.
As long as I'm not
So the
allergic
palate
to it.
is open,
Yeah.
all right? Open the umbrella. I'll go all over the map to get it. I can't do that. Can you do that?
I've gotten better as I've gotten a little bit older, just opening up the palate and saying, hey, look, man, I'll try anything, once essentially, unless it just smells bad. For me, for me, the smell test.
If it smells
smell
bad.
test is a real thing for me. Smell test is a real thing.
Yeah.
Some stuff I won't go near, though, like Indian food. Like, I've had 1 million people have conversations with me and say, you just haven't had my spot, or you just, I'm like, all right, I've tried it enough to the.
At least you tried it.
I've tried it enough times to the point that I know, like, y'all got a couple good things, but it's just,
I'm done. Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'll try some stuff.
What, you telling me it's only so many times you can have the butter chicken?
Sometimes.
You trying to chicken
Sometimes
masala?
It's all right.
But if you really like it, you're gonna go. It's
Yeah.
there are certain go-to things that we all have. There are certain go-to players that we're gonna maybe place a bet on or use as our fantasy football or fantasy baseball player, right? I mean that's the go-to guy. I've always wondered why people who would not like something at one point in their life go back and try it again, because I can't do it. If I count you out, you are out. So I'm not going back to beets, for example. No way. Slimy, not going to like it. A lot of people do like it. My wife loves it. She says, I like it later on in life. How did you try it later on in life if you never liked it in the first place?
I agree with your wife on this one.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
Most people do.
Yeah.
Look, I'm trying to start the relationship off the right way. You know what I'm saying? I have to agree with your significant other, and you better have. I hated beets. And then along the aging process, you start to realize I want to take health serious. So I realized how good beets are for you at 40. Then I start to eat it, and I'm like, they're really not that bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I'm mixing in the fact that I know they're good, and I know they're good for me, and they're not that bad. They're not that bad. You can, and also your palate changes. Like when I was a kid, I didn't eat sushi.
Yeah.
You couldn't get me to go to a Japanese spot and order some raw fish. What, uncooked? No.
Yeah.
Insert the slow process. At 22, I'm eating the California roll like everybody else. And then from the California roll, what happened? The shrimp tempura roll. It's just fried shrimp. And so you start there, and then eventually, let me get a little bit of ginger with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that
Put the
yellowtail?
put the wasabi.
Let me nibble that a
Little
little
bit of
piece.
wasabi and a soy
Get a little
sauce.
spicy.
I have heard that
little
from
spicy
so many
tuna.
people, man, that your palate changes. Mine does not.
You haven't tried
You haven't
anything.
allowed it to change.
You haven't
You
tried
haven't allowed
anything.
it to
Hey,
change. Didn't you see? We were just talking about this the other day. Getting people to rock with your city, right?
Yeah.
You haven't come to the city. You haven't done the new things.
I have tried. I tried it a long time ago, and I just won't go back to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
try
I
it.
feel so
it's
judged right now.
pretty
too.
simple.
I hear him over here talking about how healthy and clean he eats.
Yeah.
The slim
got a
sushi and all of this stuff.
You just got the brownie? Oh, you got one for
I'm
me
feeling
over there?
attacked, Braylon. I got your brownie over
Oh,
here
yeah,
too,
I'm
my guy.
gonna give it.
Shout out to my foodie, my foodie in crime over there, Mr. Ricky.
I will say this: for as healthy as he is, for as in shape as he is, for as much he's conscious of what he puts in his body, he will join you in the celebration of sugar. No question, right?
go.
And before you take
you
your
got
bite,
his too?
make sure you give a little love to Ven Johnson first, and then when we come back, a little football discussion.
We'll do that. You know what? I'll do them justice, just like I'm gonna do this brownie justice. It means different things to different people, but whether it's a settlement or verdict, justice is always worth the fight. If you've got a case, contact the fighters at Ben Johnson Law today. VenFights.com if you want to go to the handle. If you got a case, man, these are the people that you want to represent you. They're tough, they're tenacious, and they're trial lawyers. That means they want all the smoke, and that's who you want. Ben Johnson Law. Let them fight for you.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
you're a Detroit sports fan, huh? Well then, make sure you subscribe to all the Woodward sports pages on YouTube. We have Woodward Baseball, Woodward Pistons, and of course, Woodward Hockey. Get breakdowns, updates, and bonus coverage of all things Detroit. So pick your favorite sport and follow along with the best Detroit sports coverage ever made. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Summer's heating up and Feldman's clearing space for the incoming new models. That means massive markdowns during Feldman's Hot Summer Sale. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $189 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for just $209 a month. Inventory's moving fast, and when it's gone, it's gone. So don't sweat the search. Just get to Feldman. More locations, more inventory, more ways to save. The Hot Summer Sale is on at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
We were talking about numbers a little bit ago. Braylon and how he felt different with #1. Let me give you a couple of numbers associated with Les Stanford, and I think you'll feel different too about getting a car there. Now, they've got great offers. They do. They got great deals all over the place. I could go on and on about how long they have been in business, how many good people they have, and the numbers associated with their really good-looking cars. But just let me give you a few, okay? 2025 Hummer EV SUT lease special, $599 a month plus tax. You're not going to find it any better. What about the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation lease special for only $169 a month? Those numbers are really impressive. Like #1 on Braylon, really impressive. 17 on Braylon, really impressive. I don't know if it's as impressive as $169 a month at Les Stanford.
Amen.
Buick and GMC. Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory. It's Les Stanford, Buick and GMC for all these specials. Go to their website, lesstanford.com.
And we back?
We are back. Yeah, that's good. I want to dive into some football here in a moment. But first, this Sunday is a different kind of experience here in the city. It's the first time that Detroit can actually call a 3-on-3 basketball team their own. It's the Detroit Amps. They play their first and only game at Little Caesars Arena. The festivities begin at 3 o'clock. A lot of Pistons legends will be there. James Buddha Edwards will be there. Rick Mahorn will be there. Our friend Terry Mills, Grant Long, Antoine Joubert is going to be there as well. John Long will be there. It's going to be awesome to have a lot of those people decorating the stands and that TV camera finding them. What I love most about Detroit, and I get it, we've got a lot of really high-profile people. What I love about Detroit is the athletes themselves. I don't care if you were a star at Bishop Gallagher. I don't care if you were a star at Michigan or Michigan State, or you were a star with the Lions or anywhere else. You guys are the people everybody wants to see. Yeah. And right now, they've got a really good deal. If you buy an Amps ticket, you get a ticket to the Live Golf Tournament in Plymouth, which is awesome. Man. Yeah, that's a really good deal.
Yeah.
Buy a Big 3 ticket for the games in Detroit Sunday. Get a free ticket to Live Golf Team Championship Michigan. 2 epic events, 1 great deal. That's a really cool thing. And if you've played the Cardinal, have you played the Cardinal?
I was just about to say the Cardinal. I played at Calvin Johnson's outing since they've redone it.
Me too.
Man, I'm telling you, it's lights out. Actually, this Monday is Sharon Moore's his outing at the Cardinal. Cardinal's getting a lot of love right now.
Really sharp. And you know what? They do a really good job with it, as you know. But either way, I love that when you go to an event, you look around, and while other cities have these, Hollywood actors or directors or stuff like that, in Detroit, people see the athletes and are like, hey, there is fill in the blank. I love that about Detroit. I know you get some, entertainers, but the athletes primarily are the story when they go to other sporting events.
Yeah, 100%. I think one of the biggest things about that is whether guys are homegrown. Antoine Joubert is from up the street. Jalen's from Detroit. Jerome Bettis is from Detroit. Chris is from Detroit. Grant, like, they not only are from the city, played at the institutions, they come back to the city.
Yeah.
They take their grassroots serious. They do things for the city. Actually, Jalen and Chris are doing a game at the corner, the old Michigan Trumbull Tiger Stadium. They're doing a game in which they're coaching against each other on Sunday to kind of kick off the Big Three before it starts. But even if you're not raised here, even if you just play here, Calvin Johnson's not from Detroit.
Right.
But something about this city makes you want to put roots down. Something about this city that once you're a part of it, it doesn't release you. Herman Moore, last time I checked, he's not from here.
Right.
You know,
Love
and
Herm, yep.
there was no Super Bowl to hold him over here. You know, there was no Hall of Fame, which we're waiting on to hold him over here. But yet and still, I remember going to Herman Moore's camp in '94, and he's still doing work in the community. Like, this is a place, once you get to Detroit, it's such a special city, you don't want to go. And the athletes, they embody that. Guys that come from, and women, that come from all around the country, they put roots here, and they don't leave, and they come back and they support the outings. I see Grant Long all the time. Jimmy King is another big staple here in Detroit. You would think Jimmy was from here.
Yeah, he's from Texas.
100, and he still lives in Dallas, but you would think he's from here.
Yeah, he's Jimmy will be there too.
One of my favorites.
Love Jimmy for sure. Barry Sanders is another good example.
Oklahoman.
Barry
I
Sanders
was with his son
just
yesterday.
became here and said, you know what? I mean, now suddenly you become a Michigander.
It's great that you brought up Barry. The conversation that we had, Barry retires. He retires through the facts. A lot of people in Detroit didn't like it then. They still don't like it now. Just think of what that time was for Barry.
Yeah.
For him to still be here,
Right.
after that reception and
Yeah.
what that was from the retirement, for
point.
him to still be here and be out in the community, that lets you know that there's something special that sometimes words can't put into you can't put into words what we feel about this city.
So what is it, do you think? I think it's the people.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it. I think people are. A couple of years ago, one of the players on the Tigers, I won't say who it was, he lived in Birmingham, okay? And I said, what is it? I was just sitting there, watching some BP. He came walking into the dugout and sat next to me. And I said, how you fitting in? Oh, everything's great with the team, right? And I said, how do you like the area? I always like to find out with people or athletes from out of town what they think of our town,
What's the take?
just to give them an idea. And he said, you know what I love about this place? He said, and by the way, it was Eduardo Rodriguez. He said, you know what I love about this? We live in Birmingham. And he said, we can go out to dinner and nobody bothers me.
Yeah.
He said, they'll just come up and they'll say, hey, congratulations, good luck, thanks for being here. He says, nobody hounds me like they did in Boston, for example. And I thought, man, that made me feel really good. I remember when I was a kid one time, I lived in Farmington Hills, right across from the post office off 12th Mile.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
By Dunkel.
Yeah, right by Dunkel, where I went, Fire Up Warriors. So my dad went into the post office, he saw Lance Parrish.
Okay.
And he came home and he said, boys, I just saw Lance Parrish. And I said, did you get his autograph? He said, hell no, I didn't get his autograph. The man's got a day off. I'm not going to bother him by asking him an autograph. I just shook his hand and said, thanks for being a Tiger. That's how you do it, right?
There you go.
Great.
Little man right there.
But I think the people in general are contagious to athletes who aren't necessarily from here and maybe didn't know enough about us until they do get here.
I think, too, and you guys speak of Ricky as well as Kool-Aid, I think people in Detroit make you feel a part of Detroit in the conversation. Like, it's not a starstruck type. I mean, you are starstruck. I mean, hell, if you see Tarek Skubal, like, you're going to – it's Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
But I think that even within that, it's – hey, look, man, like, we appreciate you. Like you said, it's like, hey, look, appreciate you having you in the city. It's not a starstruck conversation. Oh, my God, it's Tarek Skubal. Can I get an autograph? Can you take a picture? Can you call my girlfriend and tell her I'm with you? Can you call my dad and tell
No one's going to believe this.
Can you sign my butt cheek? It's none of the crazy stuff. It's just
Cleveland was
conversation.
wild.
It's like, yo, like, pleasure to meet you. Hey, look, I know you guys got the Rangers coming up. Hey, do something. I know you guys got Michigan State coming up. Look, I need you to go out there and get 2 touchdowns. But it's in the space of, no, you're a part of what this is. Like, we welcome you in. So now we're just having a regular conversation like we're at a barbershop or we're at the park or we're somewhere. That's the feeling you get from the fans.
And I feel like it's ingrained in our culture because think about it. You go back to like I wasn't there, but I remember hearing stories about Motown. How like Motown was the biggest thing in the world, but you will see Aretha Franklin just at the store. We all know where their houses are. Smokey Robinson. Think about it.
Yeah.
We all know where people don't go and bother them. And I'm gonna have to give some credit to Eminem. Eminem made full songs about not bothering celebrities, and I feel like he trained us. Like, all right, you know what? Don't bother them while they in the bathroom.
Hey, and you know what? Shout out to Jalen Rose too. At the, I went down to the DSO for the Detroit Pistons Big Sean event, and it was fabulous. And after it, you see this, the big Tahoe or whatever pull up, all blacked out, and he was about to walk up and get into his car, and one person asked for a picture. And then what proceeded was Jalen Rose just like, he looked around, he told this guy like, we just gonna chill. He just stood there and made sure to take pictures with people, talk with people, ask people about, hey, man, how's your day going and things like that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. I love Jalen. I love what he gives back to the city. I wish you'd text me back regarding the damn game on Sunday, for crying out loud. You brought up the barbershop. Educate us a little bit more on why the barbershop is so important in the black community.
Growing up, I think it's kind of changed a little bit now. Like some barbers do suites, so it's like a one-off, like one guy in at a time getting his hair cut.
Like
so you don't have that same barbershop experience. But just growing up, like this was a place where black men came to get the testosterone they needed, came to get the sports talk they needed, came to get some psychology that they needed to deal with relationships, their marriages, things of that nature. Like these become your friends. These are people you hang out with after work or after school, after the job. Like the barbershop was just a safe place. Like it was a safe space. Like kids coming to the barbershop, kids in the neighborhood, man, it was a community aspect. It was a community element, like that barbershop, at least the black barbershop. So I used to love as a kid, 12, 10, it didn't matter. I used to love just being in the barbershop.
Just hanging out there.
Listening to the stories. I'm like, oh, man, this is cool. Oh, what's that about? Oh, what they talking about? I know what that is. Yeah. Like, that's what it was like. It was a safe, cool haven for the black man to grow.
Yeah.
Little education there, too.
Yeah, I'm literally going there when I leave here. I'm going to the barbershop, and I'm going to hang out, probably going to, share some stories. You're
gonna hang out, or you're gonna get your
haircut? I'm gonna get my haircut, but I know my barber since I was in like high school, so we talk.
Take your hat off. It doesn't seem to me like you need a haircut.
We don't need to do all that.
You agree with me on this? It's one of the places where you can get two educations at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you go in there, you can get the street education, and you can get book education, all at the same time. And there's a bunch of individuals that are in there doing one or the other or both. So you learn a lot.
And sometimes you get some good merchandise for a nice quality discount, legally, of course.
Ooh, very true. DVD,
Ricky's got to throw that in there. Legally, of course.
Of course. You get receipts and everything.
DVDs, CDs.
Speaking of receipts, TJ Watt's got a big receipt now. He's got the 3-year, $123 million extension. TJ Watt is now the highest paid player in the history of the National Football League outside the quarterback position. So it seems like each time that bar is being raised, it started, with Jamar Chase, and then it's Myles Garrett, and now it's TJ Watt. And we all know who's coming up. We don't have to educate you on the Micah Parsons and maybe Trey Hendricksons and Aiden Hutchinsons and get in all that. But what was your initial take on the $123 million extension that gives TJ Watt $41 million a year?
I didn't think he was worth it.
Yeah. Really?
You said initial thought. Initial thought.
Yeah, that's what we asked for.
I'm looking at the totality of the situation. I'm looking at an individual that has had injuries over the course of his career. I'm looking at this team being hampered on the offensive side of the ball. They got a lot of big contracts. So one of their biggest Achilles heels, they've always paid all the defensive players and not had enough for the offensive players. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at a franchise that what are you guys? You guys are in an all or nothing move right now. You just paid DK, now you're gonna pay TJ on top of it. That's what I wanted to say. But I looked at the stats, I looked at the numbers, I looked at what it is, and I was able to take a deep dive. He's worth the money.
I think he had him over a barrel. There's no doubt he's gonna hold out. I'm not. I'd love your take on athletes holding out, because I think it's a different mindset for me. It may be different for Kool-Aid and Ricky, and I think from an athlete it's different. The only thing I'd say about the injury is he's only missed one part of one season with the injury. The other thing that stunned me, and he should have been at least, like we always complain, Shaquille O'Neal was only named MVP once. That's ridiculous, right? T.J. Watt's been only Defensive Player of the Year once, and that's a joke. 2 years ago, when he led the league in sacks with 19, he finished second to Myles Garrett. Do you guys know how many times Myles Garrett has led the league in sacks?
0.
0.
Yeah.
Wow.
0. T.J. Watt's led the league in sacks 3 times. All right?
Wow.
Every year that he's been healthy, and he's only 1 year he played 10 games. He missed 5 games. So you can almost, understand that he only had 5.5 sacks. Every other year except his rookie year, he's had at least double-digit sacks. And in fairness to Myles Garrett, he's had double-digit sacks in 7 consecutive seasons.
Is Myles Garrett playing next to Cameron Hayward? Is Myles Garrett playing with Minka Fitzpatrick on the back end? Is Myles Garrett playing with the defense that Pittsburgh is notoriously known for, although they've had a lot of blemishes over the last couple of years? Like, is that what Myles Garrett is doing? Because TJ C quarterback, hit quarterback. You can
sure. Yeah. Cleveland's had some decent players opposite him and some decent players in the secondary. I don't think they have the tradition that you're talking about with Pittsburgh. I guess I would agree with you. I would have pause giving, with all due respect, a 31-year-old $41 million a year. But it's a short-term deal, so that helps.
Yeah.
Are you going to use that money for somebody else? Not this year, you're not.
No, you're not.
Okay. So what is it you expect to do? Hold on to that while you feel like your window is even closing further, and Mike Tomlin's window as a head coach might even be closing tighter. You know what I'm saying? So the people who say, well, it's stupid to sign him, let's say you don't sign him, and he holds out, and he doesn't play. Then what? Who do you have to take that place? And I don't like players holding out when they've got a year left on their contract. I understand it, but I don't like it because you signed the deal. 3 years ago or whenever you signed it, you said, hey, I know the landscape's changing. You guys all know the landscape is changing. If you got a problem with that, don't sign the long-term deal.
True, but a lot of those conversations are, hey, look, we'll take care of you on the back end. And it's stupid for it, 100%. But a lot of those conversations, and that's the give and take. Hey, look, you work with us, we work with you. We're doing this, blah, blah, blah. So you fall into that. You fall into that trap sometimes as a player. It's like, all right, I'll do this now, and you'll set it up later. And then you get to that point. Now I have to beg for the money that you told me you would provide. Right. And nobody was privy to that conversation but you and the owner. So with that. But looking at this deal, looking at TJ, looking at the stats, and looking at everything, you say you're absolutely right. Nobody's going to get that money this year. He deserves that money. But you brought up the locker room. If you don't pay TJ and you pay DK, and you got guys, that's how you fracture a locker room. That's how you fracture a locker room. So you want to give DK Metcalf this money coming from Seattle, and we don't know if he's even going to be like with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. Meanwhile, the guy that we know we can depend on, meanwhile, the guy that's been here, meanwhile, the guy that's always on the field, and when he can play, he's giving us all that he has, and it's usually to the tune of 18 sacks, 19 and a half sacks, he put 22 and a half sacks, and he missed a game that season, by the way. This is the guy, great in the community, great on the mic. There's no blemishes in his character and no blemish in his play. If you don't pay him, now you have the pushback that the Steelers have been known for, players complaining about getting paid for other players.
It's funny because
it's smart.
Because Pittsburgh in this situation is seen as borderline irresponsible. And yet
when they're doing a responsible thing.
Yeah, I agree. Yet Cincinnati is a team that isn't paying their guy, Trey Hendrickson, who's had 17 and a half sacks in each of the last 2 years. And they're squabbling with their first-round pick, and they're viewed as cheap. How do you – like, we in Detroit bitch and moan about Chris Ilitch isn't going to spend money on Tarek Skubal, get the most out of him, so let him go. Then Pittsburgh does something like this and spends money on their star to keep him happy, and people are like, that's ridiculous. What a stupid thing. How are owners supposed to win in that situation when you've got a star who should be paid a certain amount of money based on the marketplace?
I don't like talking out of both sides of my you-know-what, but all that TJ has done for all these stats that we just ran through, for the 22 and a half sacks and the 108 he's had in his career and the MVP that he got snubbed on and the MVP that he won, for all of these magical numbers, how many playoff wins does he have?
You're right.
How many times has he directly affected a playoff win or a playoff strategy? How many times has he been in so when you look at it that way?
No, I think you're great. That's a great point. I would also say Jamar Chase.
They got to the Super Bowl, and Jamar Chase
I'm saying, with the new contract, we'll see what happens. Okay. Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair.
Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Okay. If the ultimate is the Super Bowl, what are we looking at? We're looking at certain individuals. In other words, there's only a few guys who've actually lived up to it.
Yeah.
I suppose. If that's what it's about. But I think it's a fair point. I do. I think saying, look, if you're spending $41 million on a guy, if you're not going to win playoff games.
Let's start there. Playoff games.
Right on.
Like, if you're not going to win playoff games, and that's not on TJ Watt, and that's when you start getting crosshairs. But that was just a thought why some people are angry or some people are upset or some people don't see the purpose. It's because for all that money you're paying him, for all the 22 and a half and all the stuff that he's done in the regular season, tremendous player. In the playoffs, when it starts to matter, there's nothing. Not even a win.
Somebody in the chat says, with the position Pittsburgh was in, I think it would have been smart to trade TJ rather than sign him. They continue to put Band-Aids on big needs. How are you going to trade a guy who's holding out, has 1 year left on a contract? How are you going to do that? Like, the easy thing, I understand where you're coming from, but the easy thing is to say, well, I'll just trade him. To who? For what? And how do you need someone who's going to say, oh, I'll tell you what, I'll take Ricky. Oh, I know he's sitting out. I know he wants a big deal. I know I don't have the cap money of $41 million, especially at this stage of the season. Sure, let's do the trade. That's easier written and said than it is done at this stage.
I think also, too, 100%, you would need a team that's as stupid as the Pittsburgh Steelers would need to trade him. You would need a team that's as dumb as them to make that happen. But I think in this new landscape, you're going to stop seeing the desperation haul, the desperation pull. We got to sign this guy because we need this guy this year. I don't think you'll see that anymore. Like the Hassan Reddick situation that happened a couple years ago with the New York Jets. He signed. He said, look, wherever I get traded to, it needs to be a contract, blah, blah, blah. They did it, unfortunately, and how long did it take him?
Yeah.
It took him a very long time. It happened to somebody else. I don't think you're going to see that anymore because teams won't put themselves in that position. The league is trending away from, all right, I got to go all in on this guy because it's this year. The Steelers are in a situation where all or nothing. Aaron Rodgers.
But you are going to have three other individuals who play similar positions to do the same thing. Micah Parsons has come out and said, all I know is I'm going to get mine. And he is going to get his because he is a son of a bitch off the edge, right? Aiden Hutchinson this year, he's good. If he has a really good season, he's going to get his. Yeah. Trey Hendrickson holding out. He may force Cincinnati's hands. Those are the things that are real right now in the National Football League, and because it's the marketplace and because it's trending, other players are going to take advantage of it.
No, of course. No, I was going to say, just to back that up, man, as soon as I saw that deal, my mind instantly went to Aiden Hutchinson is going to reset the market, and there's a couple more guys down the market over the next few years that are probably going to do the same.
Would you wait, if you're Aiden Hutchinson, would you wait to try and see where Micah Parsons signs for? Like, I would think Trey Hendrickson would be the next guy, Micah Parsons, and then Hutchinson. But you run the risk, okay, of not getting, like, how much is enough? Like, if somebody said to you, I'm sorry, I need $1 million more than Myles Garrett. Really? $40 million doesn't work for you? Give me a freaking break.
That's why Shaq left the Magic.
This is gonna sound crazy because I'm an athlete anyway. No, you wouldn't. In this current landscape, if I was Aiden, I would take a discount only from this standpoint. One, you want to win. That's the objective. Two, you've already endeared yourself to the city because you're from Plymouth. You went to Michigan, which is all up the road, down the street. The money that you would lose on the $2 million that you would give up, or et cetera, or whatever it would be, you would make back through Ford. You would make back through one of the millions of companies or corporations that are here in Detroit. Shout out to our city. You make that money back. Michigan, all these things.
I can't believe I'm taking this side of things. He's going to make those anyway. Number one, and number two, how much is a hometown discount? I don't believe in hometown discounts, man. I mean, if I'm the athlete and I put all that in, and especially if I'm a football player, knowing that your career could end on the very next play, I'm getting as much as I possibly can. And I don't blame them one bit.
Hey, look, you know what? In the chat, they're all on it right now. Shout out to the chat family. If you guys haven't gotten the opportunity to, make sure you go on ahead and smash that like button for the Braylon Edwards show with Matt Shep. Man, the boys are cooking today. But they're in the chat saying, give Aiden Hutchinson the money right now. Thomas Woodward says, give Hutchinson $45 million a year right now. Cartier, hell yeah. If I'm Hutch, I'm getting all mine. Aidis411 says, 4 years, $160 million for Hutch. Cartier again, get Hutch's 40 and call it a
Why
day.
would he take 40 when somebody just took 41?
Right.
And 45, he's coming off a broken leg. I wouldn't give him 45 right now, would you?
give him 40?
No.
So,
He's coming off a broken leg.
You don't think he's going to set the market, man? I think he's going to set the NFL ablaze. It might cost the Lions if they wait.
Not this year, he's not. He has to go through this year. He's not going to reset the market this year.
Talk to me about it.
What does he need to do to reset the market, in your opinion, this
He
year?
needs to have a year
What's that?
similar to what he had 2 years ago or on pace to what he was doing last year, where he is involved in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. Then he resets the market.
Newsflash,
Ray,
2
talk
years
to me.
ago, he had 12 sacks. That ain't going to cut it to reset the market. You talking about resetting the market. You're talking 17 or more sacks, at least.
But I'm talking about quarterback pressures. There's a lot of different things. Remember, you just got done telling me who's playing opposite him. Nobody. It's Marcus Davenport, with all due respect. And guys inside, really challenging, right? So, I mean, it's not like Aleem McNeil's going to be there. Levi Onwuzurike is going to be out the first 4 games again, for crying out loud. I think, based on quarterback pressures, tackles for losses, quarterback hits, and the sacks, if they're somewhere in that neighborhood, you're right, probably need more than 12.5.
Yeah.
But if he's somewhere in that neighborhood, I think he can reset that market because of the upswing. I wouldn't give him $40 million right now coming off a broken leg.
Yeah,
Would you?
No.
Not right now.
Absolutely not.
Kool-Aid would.
You know what, man? Look.
It's easy to spend other people's money, man. It's really easy.
100%.
It's really easy.
Spend your own
is, man.
pesos on
Right.
Kool-Aid.
Right.
Talk to me, Ray.
I'm just saying, like, $40 million is a lot to what Matt Sheppard said. If you want to pay him now, that's fine. Like, I understand. If you want to pay him now, I'm not
Get
paying
him his
more
bread,
than
man.
I'm not paying him more than 38 right now.
No more than 38.
I'm not even touching it. I'm not. Look, what's the Carfax?
Well, yeah,
When you buy a used car, has it been in an accident? It causes a red flag. I love Aiden Hutchinson. I want him to be a Lion for life, and I hope he gets as much money as he can. Not before he plays this year, coming off a broken leg. That's great. This is not a broken pinky. Look at his finger on the right hand. Okay, he can't straighten it. That's one thing.
put that up
If he can't walk or run, it doesn't matter.
This actually was like this when I entered the NFL. It was like this when I entered the NFL.
Poor Braylon. Braylon's like, I can't do anything about that.
Hey,
Shep,
Shep,
man.
Yeah.
in the chat, man, we got some people here. Burn. I love when Shep cooks.
Well,
There it is. He's cooking.
you wouldn't if you had to sit down at the kitchen table. Let's go to Kool-Aid. He's got something for us on BlackRock, and then we pick up the conversation on the other side.
Yeah,
Black
we got
Rock.
Black Rock, and then throw it over to me for Sean B after you.
I got you covered, man. BlackRock. The summer giveaways have already started. You know what time it is. 8 weeks and counting. The big reveal, we've already done that. 4 tickets to the Tigers game on August 4th. We want to see you there. We want you to get in the contest. Scan this QR code above my head. BlackRock wants you to be in the game. If you don't want to see the Tigers, fine. 4 tickets to the Big Ten home football opener September 14th. You don't like football? Come on. This is what we want you to do. All you got to do. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And this is going to be a hot season in college football because my squad is back. Each entry gets you into this week's prize and the grand finale. So all you got to do is scan the QR code and also go to BlackRock, man. The 755 degrees at which they cook on the volcanic rock is amazing. State to perfection. See you guys there.
Hey, let's go. And you know what? It's ever appropriate. Got to tell you guys about something that's cooking up in the mornings. And we're pumped to announce a brand new show on Woodward Sports Network, Sean Belegian in the Morning with my guy Maz, launching Monday, July 21st, man. Hey, you know what? Just a round of
There
applause.
we go. There we go.
Let's go, man. Tap in live every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. It starts Monday. I need to see you guys all there in the chat. You guys already know who's in the sound booth as well. The elite JB Smooth and KG. 2 Detroit sports legends, though, Sean Belegian and Thomas Mazaway. They use this government, so you already know it's real. They team up to bring you bold takes, big laughs, and unfiltered Detroit sports talk. Expect breaking news, guest interviews, interactive segments, and that classic Detroit fire. Grab your coffee and start your mornings with real Detroit sports radio, only on Woodward Sports Network starting July 21st. Be there.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Armani and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Hey, it's Stick from Woodward Sports. I'm out here at the Feldman shop, of course, you know, because they are #1 people. And the Ineos Grenadier, that's the new car that they got. But I got my man here, the Sun God. I'm not lying. His name is Amon-Ra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He sold me a car.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up? Come see us out here, baby. We in Waterford. We got the pre-owns all day. We got the Grenadiers, and we got new Chevys all day. Whatever you need, we got you.
Yeah, and I went with this one. I like it. 2023 Durango. It's used. Only got like 30,000 miles on it. And this guy, man, I was like, listen, this is my price. You either make it happen or I'm out of here.
Easy.
You know what he did? Went to his boss. He's like, I'm making this happen for this guy. Came back, threw the contract on the table. Now I'm in the whip.
Yes, sir. Sign, drive, zero down, easy money all day.
All right, Feldman, what's the address here, do you know?
5300 Highland Road, Waterford, Michigan, 48327. Open until 6 o'clock every weekday except 9 o'clock on Mondays and Thursdays, 4 o'clock on Saturdays. Only day we're not here for you is Sunday. Every other day we're here to get it done, baby.
And his legit name is Amon-Ra. I'm not lying. It was destined. It was meant to be. Woodward Sports found this guy. So thank you very much, man. Enjoying the car, and the kid likes it too. It's nice and safe.
They do that too.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and you know what? The ultimate swag. And some would call it, they would call it that Javi Baez aura. So you want to go check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, tees, and hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com. Remember, click shop, you guys. And we back.
Braylon Edwards Show, 2 to 4, Monday through Friday. Spinny, what's going on? How are you, man? Don't forget to follow us on all our socials. A lot of people in the chat. Some people say Aiden is the best we got. And I think that's part of at least my mindset. I'm not saying everybody's just wrong who disagrees with it, but I don't care if a guy's the best you got. That doesn't mean you overpay them.
All right.
You know what I mean? You pay the guys for what they're worth. You pay, oftentimes in sports, it's what they've done.
Yeah.
But it's also what they're going to do. And again, let me reiterate. I love Aiden Hutchinson. I want him to be a Lion. I think you have to separate your emotional and your mental state of the situation, all right? Emotionally, you want him to be here. Emotionally, I understand why you're saying Myles Garrett's getting money, TJ Watt's getting money, our guy deserves money. Not yet. Mm-hmm. Look at the resumes of those two individuals. So if I say I'm not giving him X amount of dollars right now because he's coming off a broken leg, doesn't mean that I don't like him, and it doesn't mean that I don't think he will be productive. It means I have to wait, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you're talking about two individuals that got $41 million, Myles Garrett as well as T.J. Watt. Look what their, like you said, resume. Look at that 8-year career. Look at what they are. 16 sacks, 17 sacks, 14 sacks, defensive player of the year, runner-up defensive player of the year, runner-up defensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, got snubbed. Like these are their resumes. They both got drafted in 2017. This is what they are. You look at Aiden Hutchinson and look at his resume, and it's been a good one when he's been on the field. But 9.5 sacks, 11.5 sacks, 7.5 sacks, obviously what happened last year. Unfortunate. But now he has to get back from that injury this year. You're ready to give him $40 million right now. I appreciate what he potentially could be, and I appreciate what he's been so far. But $40 million right now when the resume isn't proven, we're arguing over paying T.J. Watt. Meanwhile, like he's got nothing but stats. Nothing. In the last 2 years, he's played 17 games both years. So that's why I also had to be quiet about him missing games a couple years ago. It's going to happen, but you got to wait. And you'll learn this, Shep. These Detroit fans, you say anything that they don't feel is right for their team or their player, they will come after you. They will call you disloyal. They will call you, you're not part of the city.
Oh, I'm used to it.
You're not with them.
I'm used to it.
Just get ready.
Yeah, I've been used to this for a long time, and that's okay, and that's why I'm still standing. I think
still standing.
I think
Talk to him, bro.
Should be talking that stuff on the gangster lean, by the way.
I think the difference is that Aiden Hutchinson's 25.
Yeah.
T.J. Watt's going to be 31. Myles Garrett's 29/30. So I think you would love to sew up a guy in his quote-unquote prime, even though I still think Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt have a lot of football left in them. I think that's where people are probably thinking, you know. And let's face it, we are scarred because we feel like there are certain teams in this market that haven't paid their players when they are deserving. Tarek Skubel's a really good example right now. How many people have come up to you and said, you got to pay Tarek Skubel, and the Tigers haven't done it yet?
So many people want me to talk about that on the show. Like literally when they run up to me, hey, you got to get Scoots paid. We need to secure him now. 100%. That's the conversation. On the flip side, though, Kool-Aid, if you ask these same fans, yourself included potentially, would you do this if it wasn't your team?
Listen,
it's a whole different conversation.
Great question.
As you guys,
if it wasn't your team, would you be paying Aiden Hutchinson, who's coming off a horrific injury that he also did to the other leg when he was in college?
Yeah.
Which we're not talking about, by the way.
Yeah,
elephant in the room.
Can you imagine paying one of the pitchers who coming off Tommy John $40 million a year?
Why are you doing this to me, man? Why y'all doing it? Look, honestly, as y'all were talking, I was sitting here like, you know what? Brad Holmes has set a precedence. He has no problem with breaking the market or setting the market or doing history for his guys that prove it. And so now I'm like, you know what? Why not tell Hutch to go out there and earn it? We're not going to lose Hutch. There's no way they're letting this guy, if he earns a contract, we don't care how big it is, there's no way they're letting him leave Detroit. So as I'm hearing you guys talk, I'm sitting there like, you know what? Go out there and make him earn this thing. And I understand
Kool-Aid,
what
everybody's
he
got
might
a price,
feel,
buddy.
but I get you, man.
Everybody's got a price. I'm sorry. If Joe Montana can get traded, if Wayne Gretzky can get traded, if Michael Jordan can play for another team and LeBron James can play for another team and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar can get traded, with all due respect to Aiden Hutchinson, it's fine. Somebody else might get him, all right? And I'm not saying now. I'm just saying let's not make it sound like he's not leaving Detroit, my God, because he went to Michigan, went to Divine Child, and he's from this area. I hate to tell you, but bigger names, better players in other markets, it's happened.
Dang, man. And you know what? That's a wrinkle to it as well, because how you do. You sit here with a player like Hutchinson who it's not what it was before last season or when he was jetted off to, you know, a historic pace at the sacks at the start of the season before he got injured. We're talking about Hutch post-injury now. And that does enter a little bit of a different question when you're talking about going and setting the market ahead of time when he has the ability to play through it now. It is interesting because it'll be interesting to see if he plays himself up to a certain value, what the Detroit Lions do. But I do believe that he's somebody that is probably going to be taken care of by one Mr. Brad Holmes if he earns it, though. If he earns it.
Yeah.
And I agree with you 100%, as he should, if he earns it, which he's already has started. I was reading the comments. Shout out to Cartier American. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody's comment, even if I don't agree. Braylon thinks Hutch is trash. Laugh my ass off. And
Where did you get that?
And what part of the conversation did you get trash? When have I ever called Aiden Hutchinson trash?
That's ridiculous.
When did I ever? But it goes back to what we were talking about. If you're not for in all aspects, then you are against. And it's just not the case. I think he's a tremendous player. I think he was on his way last year. One of the biggest conversations of his first 2 years was, I'm tired of the hurries. That became the conversation. Oh, he gets all these hurries. Get to the quarterback. When you start having conversations like, I want to be the best, or I want him to set the market, or he's the best player, or he's on the way, then excuses get to start getting taken out of the equation. Oh, he's getting pressures. Well, he's getting double teamed. Michael Strahan said something great about double teams. He said his rookie year, he started getting to the quarterback, and they started like him in New York. Then what do? Well, they double team. Add the guard, get a little chip, get the left, the right tackle on. He said he couldn't get off the double team, and the coach said, so? I don't want to hear anything about a double team. I don't want to hear anything about them scheming you and do this. You're the player that we believe could be the future for this organization. And we saw what Michael Strahan became, one of the greatest to ever do it, and broke the record, the Brett Favre play. That's what Aiden essentially is. He is a guy that we drafted that can be one of the best of all time. You have to hold him to that. Don't get excited because he's almost there. You're like, he's close. Let's pay him. Wait till he gets there. He will get there. Like, we know Aiden. We know his pedigree. We know his father's pedigree, who had the Michigan sack record before him. Yeah. He is a fighter. He is dedicated. He is about the Detroit Lions life. So this isn't me or us negating or hating on him. This is saying what you want him to be. You want him to be the greatest. He wants to be the greatest. So don't try to give him 40 when he's not $40 million worth right now.
But you know what?
Let's be careful. It's not like he put up Al Baker numbers. Okay.
Ooh, shout out to Bubba Baker.
I mean, Bubba Baker had 23 sacks, 16 sacks, 17 and a half sacks his first 3 years in a Lions uniform, wearing number 60, which didn't make much sense to me. But anyway, those three, okay? We're talking about Defensive Player of the Year, Pro Bowl, next year Pro Bowl, All Pro each of those 3 years. Yeah. Those are gaudy numbers for anybody. Those would be gaudy numbers today for sure. Yeah. Those aren't his numbers. And if you believe just because he's from the area, my assumption is that Saquon Barkley is going to retire an Eagle because he's from Whitehall, Pennsylvania, went to Penn State, even though he played for the Giants, and is now in Philadelphia. As much as I love those stories.
Is Aaron playing for the 49ers next year? You know he's from out there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a good point. As much as I really enjoy those storylines, they're great for us in the media. It's just not reality.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pissed off when Lance Parrish got traded, when Jack Morris played someplace else, when Dan Petrie left and played someplace else. That's the way it goes in sports, and especially today.
You also know what? Another name that popped up into the chat.
Who popped
and
up?
I forgot about this, and I want to be able to give credit where credit is due. I'm going to say it first, and I'll go back to it when I see it. But somebody said we all thought that we were going to re-sign Ndamukong Suh as well. And that was one that got away. And so just to put it kind of in perspective as it relates to at least Lions history and some of their top-tier players that we thought maybe wouldn't get away.
Yeah, and he was a badass. I mean, Braylon educated us on that yesterday.
Yeah.
I never thought they would re-sign him. Braylon says they didn't come with the money, so I'll take his word for it. Yeah. He was an absolute beast.
Yeah, shout out Stephen Baffy. That was from Stephen Baffy in the chat, man. But there are a lot of people in the chat who they kind of agree with the sentiment, and I know Steve O'Baby is one of them. He says, Braylon, the emotional, the Lions fans, they are just emotional. They can't accept criticism. They're like little kids. And he's one of the ones who actually agrees with you guys as it relates to, you know what, wait and play this thing out. See what it is with Aiden Hutchinson right now. And I gotta admit, even though, as Detroit Kool-Aid, I would probably say, you know what, let's go ahead and set him up early just to avoid what the market could be. If this is the thing, we as fans learning to be a fan of like a team with Super Bowl expectations. That also comes with understanding we got a real organization. We can't think the way we used to in times past. Now we got an organization that's showing they know what they're doing. They take care of the players that have earned it. And that, to me, is where fans more or less should be as it relates to the Detroit Lions and Aiden Hutchinson.
Hear me out about this. Like, if you want to talk about the Jared Goff situation where they definitely could have paid Jared Goff early, save themselves some money, and I understand that, that's fine. Whatever Aiden is going to get paid, they got more than enough money to cover that salary. Like they got a bunch of money that they are setting aside for 90-7. They are not worrying about, we may not have it. They're going to have the cash. If you want to talk about Aiden making 40 this year, if the Detroit Lions defensively completely fell apart last year after Aiden Hutchinson got hurt, if they completely fell apart And then you come into the season and he's healthy, and now you're like, well, I get it. Because now you're like, our big guy's back. Our defense was trash last year. We were a wild card or blah, blah, blah. We won 11 games. We didn't win 15. They won 15-2, and Aaron Glenn found a way to elevate that defense regardless of who wanted to get injured week after week after week. So now you're looking at it, it's no rush. You're impatient because you got a bunch of guys that are coming back as well, including 97. So there's no hurry to pay him because whatever money he's going to make, it will be there this year. It will be there next year.
Couple things. First, I can't believe Kool-Aid went third person. That's first and foremost. Second of all, is Aiden Hutchinson, do you think what's the more likely scenario? It helps his cause that T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett and soon Trey Hendrickson and Micah Parsons will set or reset the market, or does it hurt his cause, the fact that Detroit did what you just said? Went 15-2. He played 5 games, but for the most part played really well without him. Won more games without him, only lost 1 game without him, and reached the postseason and was the number 1 overall seed. Which one is it? That hurts him, or the other one helps him?
Other one helps him.
Okay.
Like, those guys resetting the market helps him because they're also guys that do it the right way. Like, when you start adding all the intangibles, they do it the right way. They say the right things. They look the part. They play the role. When they're there, they're in. They make their teams better. He does that as well. Like, he checks those boxes as well. And the Lions pay the guys that they drafted. Those are guys that Cleveland drafted. Myles Garrett, he will go down as a Brown. T.J. Watt, drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, ingrained in the steel curtain or whatever that is today. So he's ingrained that. Aiden Hudson, he was drafted by the Detroit Lions. Brad Holmes has put his stamp on Amon-Ra St. Brown. He put his stamp on Jared Goff, who he didn't draft. He put his stamp on insert player that's been paid. So, yeah, I think it helps him that those guys get paid because they want to pay Aiden. That's what Brad Holmes and this Lions teams are now, Shep. They want to pay their players. They're not some team that's withholding. They want their players to live up. You just got to
be responsible.
100%.
I mean, and you're right. All those names you just brought up. I would say with Aiden Hutchinson,
Nick Bosa, homegrown, him as
for
well.
sure. Penei Sewell, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, hopefully Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Jahmyr Gibbs, as you mentioned, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those guys are the faces of the Detroit Lions. Like outside Ford Field, those are the faces. Those are the guys that little kids are wearing jerseys of, and those are the guys that everybody moving forward as Lions fans will remember. Like when I was a kid, we all remember the Tigers coming up together in '84 and winning it with that whole core. This is the core of the Lions. The Tigers have a certain core. Red Wings hope to use a certain core, and the Pistons have a certain core as well. Might need some tweaking, but you get my point. That's why it's such a really good time, I think, to be in Detroit and be a sports fan.
You're talking my language. You know you're talking my language right now, man. Like Detroit sports, and with them all kind of on that same block, same street, Woodward Avenue right now. It's been electric to be able to, during this Woodward Sports time, run into you at the Pistons games and at the press briefings. But we just came over from a Lions game. Like the energy in the city has been electric all over, man. You're not lying.
It's awesome. And this city deserves it without question. Without question. All right, when we come back, the Lions' pressure. Is there pressure? I'm interested to know from Braylon how he describes and defines pressure. But first, you need pressure taken off your bones and your muscles. Dr. Pierce does a really good job of that, doesn't he?
Dr. Pierce is that guy, man. We had him in studio yesterday. You heard about the story. You heard about the things. You've been talking to Dr. Pierce now for the last 2 years, so we know who Dr. Jeff Pierce is. But just in case you didn't know, Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine, he's our injury insider, man. When we're talking about Aiden, when we're talking about Alex Anzalone, hopefully we won't need him as much as we did last year, but he's still around. 248-426-9944, and he's helping all. It doesn't matter, athletes, non-athletes, kids, adults. He will help you. He will get you right. The injuries are the things that you think, oh, man, I messed up. I can't get right. They said I had this, or they said I didn't have that. Just go see Doc. Just be patient. Scan this QR code. Call this number. Doc will get you right. I promise that, and I don't promise a lot of things. Dr. Jeff Pierce is your injury insider.
Now, if I told you you could place any bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you get your money back, you probably think I was crazy, right? Well, I'm not. Well, at least I'm not that crazy. Not crazy in that way. You scan that QR code or enter the code Woodward 1000 and your first bet doesn't hit, you can win your money back up to $1,000 in your pocket right back to you, man. That's right, $1,000 just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet must be $20, so make sure you download that Caesars Sportsbook app right now. It is the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use that code word Woodward 1000 or just scan the QR code on your screen and you could get your first bet back if it doesn't hit. Good luck.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Summer's heating up, and Feldman's clearing space for the incoming new models. That means massive markdowns during Feldman's Hot Summer Sale. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $189 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for just $209 a month. Inventory's moving fast, and when it's gone, it's gone. So don't sweat the search. Just get to Feldman. More locations, more inventory, more ways to save. The Hot Summer Sale is on at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. And now until August 31st, teens, that's right, 14 and 19, you work out for free. That's that 5-finger discounts. It's the free ball, August 31st. We want to get you guys out of the house, man, get you away from the screens, and get you into the gym, which is a judgment-free zone, by the way, at Planet Fitness, man. And they have trainers with every membership. So you come out, you can hang out, man, get out of the house and have some fun August 31st, man. So you still got a little over a month to enjoy the summer high school pass, man. And for those of you that aren't in the teenage range, come down to the gym too, because your fitness is essential. Planet Fitness understands that, so we want you to get in the best shape of your life, but you do it at your own pace. So take your time. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Man, I've been working hard today. Been here since 8 a.m. Been having a good time, but been working hard. I spent about 45 minutes in the massage chair, man. Massage Chair House. They do it different. They're in Bloomfield Hills. They're the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, with the top brands of massage chairs like Infinity, Osaki, and they're located on the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan. He's the wellness doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. So book a visit right now, massagechairhouse.com, or scan the QR code. I'm trying to tell you, I had a spot right below my neck. It was gone within 10 minutes, man, but I still spent another half hour in there. Massage Chair House, your ticket to the ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Look, for all these people out here that want to pay $45 billion and get mad at me saying that I don't have the pulse or I'm a hater, fine. I tell you like this, though. He better have more than 13 sacks this year, 100% if he plays if he plays 17, even 16 games. And also, if he doesn't have those 13 sacks, if he has, 13 or 12 or 11, don't come to me talking about, well, he was coming off of injury. Because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything about injury if he plays 17 games and he finishes with 12 sacks. Like, where are you then? Don't tell me, well, he's coming off injury. The Aiden Hutchinson that you think that joker better have 16 or more sacks. Because if he doesn't have that, the conversation you're having, it's moot.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter, because in the end, if he doesn't come through, the same people who supported it and wanted it can easily trash it, because we're not responsible for some of the tweets and some of the comments that we've had in the past. If you wanted to put it in perspective, now I'm a little biased here.
Yeah. First
to admit. Would you sign Riley Green at the end of this year to a $100+ million contract? I mean, he's a 2-time All-Star and he's your best player.
Does the first time count?
Why doesn't the first time count?
Because weren't they doing? They were still doing a thing where they were allowing a player from each team. So you essentially
Scooble's already represented him last year. So.
All right.
So it definitely counts.
Okay. Yes.
By the way, he also should have won the fielding. He should have won a Gold Glove. I like Stephen Kwan in left. He's very good. But fielding Bible-wise, sports information systems, fielding Bible-wise, Riley Green was the best left fielder in baseball.
Yeah.
So that, career high in homers, all-star. Follows it up, tied a career high in homers, playing a solid left field, might win a Gold Glove, all-star. The key guy so far in this offense, the key guy to getting them to 59 wins. Would you sign him to a multi-year deal where he's making over $100 million? Because his resume is thicker than Aiden Hutchinson's right now.
You're right, and you know what, man,
fair.
the conversation it gets a little weird, man,
fair.
when you start to talk about that with a Riley Green. It doesn't, because we sitting here right now wondering why a guy in Scuba, whose resume is more thick than both Riley Green's and Aiden Hutchinson's, he's still sitting here, and we're being told it might be smart for the Tigers to wait that contract out and see where it goes. So
well, I don't know who's telling you that. I mean,
hey,
that's debatable.
There are some people out there who do believe that. Me personally, just like with Hutch, you already know I'm definitely giving Scoobs the money. Does Riley Green deserve it? Yes, but we do know this in baseball. I see your face, Shep. In baseball, that's just not the way the economics works.
Yes, it is.
I pay Riley.
The 2 for 100?
I pay him.
Look at what Atlanta did with Ronald Acuna. Look what they did with Ozzie Albies. Look what they did with Austin Riley. Absolutely, the economies work that way.
For Green and the Tigers, though, is what I mean. For Riley Green and the Tigers.
Well, okay. Now you're changing the argument. They haven't done that with anybody. Okay, but they did it with Cole Keith.
You brought up Atlanta. They won a World
That's a great
Series
point,
back
actually.
then. That was they were in a desperate situation when everybody got hurt.
I don't think they were desperate. I mean, Ronald Acuna. It was.
Well, you're going to pay him, but then
it was early in
guys,
his career. I mean, they
True.
judged that pretty quickly to make sure. And same thing with Ozzie Albies.
Yeah.
And same Austin Riley actually struggled a little bit, and they gave that to him. So I mean, Detroit has done that with Cole Keith, and Cole Keith is a guy. If you look at his numbers, March and April, he's batting $181. All right, and there were a lot of people who said send him down. Since May, 296 with a slug of over 500, and second among second base or fourth among second basemen in weighted runs created. And the last 11 games, he's batting .359 with a slug of over 600 and a weighted runs created of 194.
All right, he's cooking. All right.
Okay, so I think he's the guy who is not being talked about that much. Maybe it's because he's positionless, but they did pay him. If they can pay him with a very minimal amount on his resume, and it was all minor league stuff, why wouldn't they be able to do it with Riley Green?
You're right. About something when you get into the millions, the big bucks, when you get to the big leagues, people start to get tight when they're not spending their money.
I wouldn't know.
They get tight when they're say, well, I don't think we should give him that deal. Like, are you paying? I think you should pay Riley Green, though. For everything you said, you sold me on that. Even before, I probably would have leaned that way. He is the force. He is the most consistent force on the Detroit Tigers right now, including everyone right now.
Should be the captain of the baseball team.
Agreed.
I mean, if you're into handing out C's on baseball uniforms, Ricky's really quiet today. You can tell he's worked a long day. If you,
I hit a wall. Yeah, you're not lying, bro. I hit a wall. I'm not gonna lie.
If you're into that on baseball teams, he would be the guy, at least from my standpoint.
Also, too, we're a different team. If you're telling me $100 million is going to take care of our star team, that's $400 million almost. That's $350. That's $250. That's $600 on some teams. Yeah. We pay $100 million.
I said over $100 million. I wasn't getting specific. I should probably need to be more specific.
That's fine, but in that point, it's not going to be anywhere with those crazy deals, and it gives you still a lot of wiggle room to do other things. Hence, obviously, numbering the guy on the mound, but it still allows you room to play. Yes, pay him that money. He deserves it. Like, what would you be waiting for?
Waiting until he's done through salary arbitration. That's what you're doing, and sometimes teams use that. If you want to say because they're financially responsible, go right ahead, or because they don't feel like they have to pay him yet.
Okay.
And I think that goes a long way. When you decide a guy is your guy, and he's that valuable, I don't care how he runs, you guys. If you ever thought he was going to steal 20 bases, you weren't thinking straight. He's not that player. I'm not saying he's a 5-tool player, all right? He's not Trey Turner. He's not Bryce Harper. Yeah. He's not a 5-tool player. Ronald Acuna is a 5-tool player. Riley Green's a really good defensive player, has good power, and is a really good hitter. All right? I know he strikes out. I know he swings and misses. Aaron Judge struck out 171 times last year. All I'm telling you is, at this stage of his career, knowing where your team is at, knowing where you're positioned, it's deserved. That's a guy, if you believe you're all in with Hutch and you're all in with certain athletes in this town, Cade Cunningham and so on and so forth, Riley Green should be in the conversation.
No, you're right on that one. You're talking about a guy who position player was the All-Star last year, and still this year, between this year and last, there are whole Tigers games where it is the Riley Green game, where it's Riley Green's offense that's carried them throughout this several seasons, with them having a turnaround that not a lot of people expected.
Wait, they're waiting for the Riley Green game? 3 homers in a game doesn't count, or what? What the hell is going on here? What universe am I living in?
Riley cooks up, man, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we've had whole games where he's carried the offense, where it's been just him. And that's where, when you look at them this offseason flirting with Alex Bregman and showing that they are willing to at least open up the wallet to the tune of $28.5 million a year for him, then you do look at a Riley Green, somebody who has underpinned your offense for the last couple of years, and you say, you know what?
Yeah.
He is earning his keep.
I get you. Alex Bregman's a better player, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Side note, you do these things I'm starting to pick up on. You know what I'm saying? You drop a little knowledge, and then you roll right into your next point. You cannot compare Aaron Judge to Riley Green.
I wasn't.
I saw what you did.
No, I was just saying guys swing and miss. In today's baseball.
You better use somebody else.
Well,
Aaron Judge is the best hitter in baseball.
I don't know if he's the best hitter, but he's the best all-around player. Yeah. I think all I'm saying is it's accepted. Swing and miss and strikeouts are accepted these days.
Kyle Schwarber would have been a great example because he's probably got 200 strikeouts every year.
Yeah, Kyle Schwarber has a ton of strikeouts.
Yeah.
Ellie De La Cruz has got a ton of strikeouts. Okay,
ton of stolen bases.
Ton of stolen bases for sure. Yeah. But he strikes out a lot.
He struck out more in his. I think it's year 5 for him. He's already struck out more than Tony Gwynn's whole career.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise. I don't think Tony Gwynn struck out more than 40 times in a single season.
No, he did not.
So that to me is a hitter. I mean, that guy's the ultimate hitter. All I'm saying is, in today's baseball, we accept swing and miss and strikeouts because as long as the guy can go yard. We would have a problem with it with Luis Ariz, but he doesn't strike out. But Aaron Judge will hit you 50-plus bombs, so I can live with the strikeouts. Riley Green's going to hit 30 bombs. He's going to hit close to 300. He plays a hell of a defensive left field, and I think you can accept some of the minuses or the negatives in his game compared to that. I'm not comparing him to Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge's awesome. Yeah. I love Aaron Judge. I think he's a hell of a guy, and I think he's a hell of a player and a great representative for the game of baseball.
Riley Green has done enough right now to where if you pay him at the end of this season and something happens, I don't think too many people are going to be pissed. That's where I would say I agree that's where he's at in stature for the Detroit Tigers. Mm-hmm. If they pay him that money and something goes awry, people are not going to be pissed because they will understand what was going into it at that moment. It won't be a situation where they pay him and now we told you not to pay him. You saw what it was. You won't get that in this situation.
So he's got some pressure on him. There's no question. The Tigers, everybody's got pressure on him. You had pressure every single Saturday and every single Sunday. So I would love to know how you define pressure. And as you do that, keep us in mind of where the NFL pressure is most on what franchise in 2025.
How do I define pressure? That's a good one. Saturdays, it wasn't a ton of pressure until November. But
when you were number one.
But practice was easy. Like, practice was the hard part. Like, when you're competing against the type of individuals I was competing with at the University of Michigan on a day-in and day-out basis, man, you got the Saturday. It was who's in front of me, it didn't even matter. But pressure in the NFL is tough because there's a lot of factors. There's coaches involved. There's coaches could be fired. There's front office could be fired. There's owners willing. Hey, look, they're looking at the landscape day after day after day, not week after week, not month after month. They're looking day to day to see what they want to change, and then you got to play the game. So pressure is, can you be the team that you're supposed to be? Like, can you be the team that you're supposed to be? That's what pressure is. That's how I look at it. You look at the Detroit Lions last year, coming into what the season they were. They were coming off the NFC Championship appearance, 12-5, had a tremendous roster. You come back, you load up, add some more draft picks. The pressure was, can you win the division again? And they won the division again, and they added wins to it. They won 15 games last year. They didn't get the NFC Championship, but they added. The pressure was, can you win the division again? You've shown us that you're the tops in the division, the NFC North. Can you do it again? And that's what they did last year. They lived up to that pressure. Now, they didn't get as far as everybody wanted them to, but the pressure is, can you get through the division? I think that pressure has gone to a new place for the Lions this year.
Which teams in the NFL do you think have the most quote-unquote pressure going into the season?
Baltimore Bills got to be 1-2.
Yeah.
Because John Harbaugh, he won in 2013. That was 12 years ago and 4 quarterbacks ago.
Yeah.
It's a different situation. It's a different time. You've got essentially the best player in the NFL every year. And what have you got to show for it? Mm-hmm. And what do you have to show for it? So I think the Baltimore Ravens are under pressure. Sean McDermott and the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen has done tremendous in the playoffs. I understand that. But they have not gotten to the Super Bowl. Yeah. They have not gotten to the next peak because of Patrick Mahomes, but they haven't gotten there. So
even though they've had home field
100%.
at times too. Yeah,
and
same with Baltimore. Yeah,
100%. So they got to be on it. They got to be in it. That's the first two that come to mind.
Same here.
Yeah, first two.
But I think the Lions and San Francisco are the two other teams that come to my mind.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think a lot of it, and I think that's a good thing. I mean, you've kind of taught me that. It's really good if there's pressure because that means there's high expectations.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of expectations for the Lions. And we're not sitting there trying to convince people that if they don't get it, heads are going to roll. Shout out to Judas Priest with a really good song. All I'm saying is that I think there are – none of you guys got that, but that's okay.
Heads will roll.
That Detroit has high expectations. People feel like this team can be great. And if they're not, then it's a huge disappointment. Thus the pressure coming in. I don't believe that the Cowboys, because just who they are. I don't believe the Steelers because Mike Tomlin's had all kinds of problems, and now they have Aaron Rodgers and have just signed T.J. Watt. I think 4 teams primarily. You hit it right on the head. I think it's Baltimore, Buffalo, Detroit, and Frisco because people feel like, I don't believe in windows, but a lot of people do, feel like their window is about this wide open right now with Purdy, McCaffrey, and Kittle primarily, and Bosa.
Yeah, I get into the Lions, but the pressure thing is, I think the teams that are in pressure is the ones the landscape can change next year. So you look at the Baltimore Ravens, if they don't win next year, or if they don't win this year, it's going to be another offseason, a grueling offseason. And this one in 2026, it will be the worst one that they've been through. This is when you'll start to hear, is John Harbaugh the coach? Like, that's the kind of stuff you do. Sean McDermott and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That team will change their tune to Sean McDermott. Like, Sean McDermott has been able to survive because his quarterback is Josh Allen. But not after this year. And that's how I look at it. And the Detroit Lions, this is a team that people believe can really win the Super Bowl this year. They really believe that this team is that good. They have a team that matches that. They have a system in play now for the last 3 years that matches that energy. Moves happen in offseason a little bit, but you still got the quarterback. You still got the skill set. You have a bunch of guys coming back on that defense. You still got some all-pro players on that defense. If not this year, in which last year you lost in your first playoff game, the year before, the NFC Championship game, you could talk about what could have been. You don't know what this window will be, and the only reason I use that is the quarterback, Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Look at the contract. The way Brad Holmes said he wanted to win, he said, we're going to win through the draft. We're not going to make big moves in the offseason. Well, you didn't make big moves in the offseason this year with the exception of DJ Reed and Jared Goff still your quarterback for the next 3 years. That window shrinks because who's the quarterback? Like, Baltimore can keep going forever. Lamar's there. Buffalo, you can get rid of Sean McDermott. Josh is still there.
Yeah. Kansas City. Yeah,
Kansas City, Mahomes is still there. Jared Goff is the quarterback, but he's the quarterback now. Like, this window works now. This 2-year, whatever, it's now. If you don't win this year, next year is going to, kind of like that.
When we come back, I want to talk about the strength of this team. It's obviously different than it was a year ago. You know what's really strong? Being honest. It's just being the kind of person that you want to be, right? Yeah, very underrated. Lady Jeans is all about that. They're honest. They're uncomplicated. They're professional. Haircuts for men. You walk in, you sign in. Before you know it, you're out the door looking a lot sharper and a lot cleaner. Lady Jane's open 10 till 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome. just like Kool-Aid Ricky and Braylon Edwards on the Braylon Edwards Show.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Summer's heating up and Feldman's clearing space for the incoming new models. That means massive markdowns during Feldman's hot summer sale. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $189 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for just $209 a month. Inventory's moving fast, and when it's gone, it's gone. So don't sweat the search. Just get to Feldman. More locations, more inventory, more ways to save. The hot summer sale is on at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Make sure you stay connected with Woodward Sports on all social platforms, man. You can follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, along with YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok for the latest sports news, live updates, and that behind-the-scenes action, man. Don't miss out. Hit that follow button right now. We're on all of them. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Be a part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network. That is at Woodward Sports on all social platforms. Hit that follow button at Woodward Sports everywhere.
The Motor City we like to drive. We like to have our hand on the steering wheel. And how can you do that? With some of the best deals in the game. That's going to Feldman Chevrolet. It's Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer with 5 locations in Highland, New Hudson, Novi, Livonia, and Lansing. This month's specials, you guys, listen up, all right? And make sure you scan that QR code. This month's specials, 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew. Lease it for $189 a month. The 2026 Equinox LT, lease it for $209 a month. This offer ends August 10th, so get there quick. Like Braylon Edwards on the football field. What up, though?
Hey, you know what time it is. I love random Tiger Woods stats.
Oh,
They're like
man.
my favorite thing to come across because
It'll blow your mind.
They just never get old.
I'm still reading this book, man. It's amazing.
From 97 to 2009, Tiger had a cumulative score of -134.
That's crazy.
Closest person was Phil Mickelson at +99.
Yeah. That's wild. Like, that shit doesn't even make sense.
Like that's.
So basically, Phil Mickelson can play another 10 years and still not even catch up.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's amazing how much more dominant he was during his time.
Is he the most dominant athlete ever?
He had the
Has
most.
to be.
I think he's the most dominant stretch. Now I'm in the minority here, and I'm okay. I don't think he's the greatest golfer of all time. I think Jack Nicklaus is.
Based on what?
Nobody won more majors. Nobody came in second more often. Nobody came in third more often. But I would say this: Tiger Woods, during that stretch, was the most dominant athlete I've ever seen in my life. I mean, nobody's, like I said, even close. Just incredible what he was able to accomplish. So it's a fun debate. There's no wrong answer, I might add. It's just a personal feeling. You know what I mean? So it's the numbers associated with him and a few others, but no one's. I mean, it's really rarefied air. You know, those two guys are rarefied air.
So if
what
Tiger
they're able
would,
to do.
if Tiger were to pass, not he won't do it now, but if he would have passed, I think Jack's at 17, Tiger's at 14 or 15 in terms of majors. It's like he's like 2 or 3 behind or something.
He's one major behind him, I believe.
And that one win keeps Jack ahead.
No, I said most second times, most third time. Like Jack Nicklaus's first 100 tournaments, he finished in the top 3 45 times. That's stupid. Okay, that's ridiculous. You know. So, like I said, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. It's just my opinion.
Right.
I think it's really close. But to watch Tiger Woods, I don't think I've ever seen. Jordan during that stretch, Gretzky winning MVPs 8 out of 9 years, which is stupid. That never happens in any sport. Those are the most dominant athletes of my lifetime.
Are you Kareem over Jordan?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Because that's what it seems like with Jack and Tiger.
Yeah, I'm a big believer that Bill Russell's the greatest champion of all time.
True.
All right,
I mean, he won 11. You can't deny that. And he won as a player coach.
Correct. Kareem, they're different players.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's the most athletic. I would go Michael Jordan, then Kobe Bryant in terms of athleticism.
Talk about it.
Yeah,
I
love Kobe Bryant.
Me too.
So
he's just not here to defend
those
himself.
Those are great debates.
Yeah.
I love hearing people's opinion on it. Yeah. I don't believe you go to the layup, no pun intended, of it's either Jordan or LeBron James. Look, there's a lot of great. I think Dr. J is underrated.
Way underrated. Thank you.
Way underrated.
I think that's recency bias. When it comes to
for
Dr.
sure.
J. Yeah, like that's.
But Ricky, in fairness, I'll call myself out. I hope you call yourself out. We all do it.
Yeah.
True that.
We're all caught up in the here and now. Whoever you watch growing up.
Yeah.
Like I love when Braylon brought up Harold Carmichael. Harold Carmichael was a son of a bitch. He was unbelievable how good he was. And Ron Jaworski's throwing the football. Okay? He was so good. He was 6'7", but he used his height to his advantage. He still got it done. Yeah. We forget about great players of the past because we are constantly fed bigger, stronger, faster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So all these guys playing today are better than Willie Mays? I don't think so.
I remember, Braylon, you were saying that when you came back from the golf outing, the Joey Harrington thing. There was players that you forgot about, but players like you almost forgot how great they were in college simply because it's been so long.
Yeah, 100%. Like that NFL, that professional level, like that now gives you merit for the collegiate level. Like if you ball in All-American, or you can even win the Maxwell, or you can win the Davey O'Brien, or you can win whatever award it is. If you don't have that success in the NFL, you're forgotten about.
Great point.
100%. Like I was out there with Eric Crouch, no NFL resume. I was out there with Kajana Carter. First game against the Detroit Lions, he's playing for the Bengals. He tears his ACL at Pontiac Silverdome. No, so it's almost like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that name. What? Kajana Carter's one of the best running backs of all time, at least at the collegiate level. But you're absolutely right about that.
Charles White's a good one.
Oh,
Charles White was so good at USC.
Yeah, he was.
But he wasn't a great pro.
Nah.
Percy Snow was a hell of a linebacker at Michigan State. All right? Butkus Award winner. Chris Claiborne, who was a Lions draft pick, who I loved when they drafted him. Really good at USC. Not very good in the pros.
It's funny. My dad used to buy the Mel Kiper Blue Book.
Yeah.
So that was one of my dreams, was to be on the Blue Book. Chris Claiborne was on the Blue Book, the very first issue I saw when he was out of USC. Yeah. That Blue Book, that was the Bible back then.
Yeah. I'll tell you who gets really almost forgotten. We talked about this earlier in the week about running backs, and then we'll dive into something else here. But O.J. Simpson was so smooth.
Yeah.
Like glide. And sure, he was behind Reggie McIntyre or Reggie McKenzie, excuse me. Reggie McKenzie and a few others who were really good up front. Joe DeLamielleure. There weren't that. I mean, back then, and it was more of a running backs game, I know. And Joe Ferguson had a really good arm. Later came to the Lions, but there was not, they were not a great team by any stretch.
14 games, he had 2,056 yards. You can stop there.
Exactly.
There's nothing else to talk about.
Great call.
14 games, 2,056 yards.
So running back is a strength of the Lions. There's no question. Would you consider it the strongest position on this team?
Not anymore.
Okay. What used to be was the offensive line.
Yeah.
None of us would say that the Lions' strength is the offensive line, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not going into this year. I hope it is by the end of the year, but no one would say that. No. Mine is the secondary. First of all, I love the safeties. 2 top 5 safeties in the NFL, Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. I'm a huge DJ Reed guy. I think he's really good. And I'm a big believer that Terrion Arnold is going to have a really good year. Okay? So I think the strength of the Lions, for the first time in my life, is the secondary. It's one of those positions, Braylon, you know this. Yeah. We have constantly hammered, we need a cornerback. We need a cornerback. I think you got 2 ones, and you definitely got 2 ones at the safety position.
I want to argue you so bad, and I want to go on the opposite side. I can't stand the secondary as it relates to conversations on who's better, the wide receivers or the secondary. It's just, it's one of the age-old back and forth. But there's no arguing. Look, I like Patrick. I like what Tim Patrick does. Amon-Ra St. Brown he's 1 of 5 right now in the NFL. I made that clear to you guys. I'll say it again. He's 1 of 5 right now. And J-Mo has the potential to be the best number. And let me not say that. He's got the potential to be really good. We can figure that out. But you can't argue with it already is. Brian Branch is a top 3 DB safety in this league currently, and that's not up for debate. Kirby Joseph is a top 5 safety in this league. That's not up for debate. So right there, you got a pretty good start. Then DJ Reed, we know what he was able to do for the Jets opposite of Sauce Gardner, who just became the highest paid DB of all time.
And some would say he was better than Sauce Gardner.
He was last year and the year before.
Okay.
The first year when Sauce came on, it was magic.
Yeah.
And even the second year, Sauce was a little bit better.
And we root for Sauce because he's a Detroiter. So.
DJ Reed was better last year. The other 2 years, Sauce.
Okay.
DJ Reed, I've seen him lock down some number ones.
Okay.
I've seen some wide receivers struggle with DJ Reed. I saw Tariq Hill struggle with DJ Reed. I saw some other. So now you got another guy on the opposite side from Alabama that we believe to be a little bit better than the record showed last year in terms of the pass interferences in Terry and Arnold. You got 4 guys. You got 4 dudes that I would love to play with. Like, if I was in the NFL, you like, yo, this is going to be your secondary. Oh, okay. So, we got Kirby. We got Branch from Alabama. So, I think that is them. And the catalyst and the leader, although Kirby is the one that gets the interceptions and the big plays on the sideline, and he's the one with the mouth, Brian Branch is your best player.
Oh, my God.
Right now, to be honest, Brian Branch is your best player on defense.
Yeah. He is arguably best player overall. Sewell is in that conversation, of course. Jahmyr Gibbs and Aiden Hutchinson when he's healthy. I don't want to go too hyperbolic here because I get caught up in certain guys, and I'm not trying to compare them. But 3 of the greatest defensive backs in the history of this sport were able to make the transition from corner to safety. Mel Blount, Pittsburgh, Charles Woodson, and Ronnie Lott, as well as Rod Woodson, who played at Purdue.
Most underrated defensive back of all time.
Oh my God! I had the good privilege of working with him a couple of games for Big Ten Network. Really enjoyed it. But those 4 guys, and I don't know if people know who they are. I'm sure everybody knows who Charles Woodson is. Mel Blount. They were corners, and they moved to safety. They were as good at safety as they were at corner. They were as good at corner as they were at safety. Brian Branch doesn't have that type of resume yet, but the transition in which he's made so seamlessly is really impressive.
Yeah, but see, I disagree right now. Like, the big knock on Brian Branch coming out is that he lacked the speed to be an actual cover corner. He lacked the speed to be a cover corner. If you put him in space, he would get exposed a little bit. And even in the slot, with a lot of these faster corners, Brian Branch led the league as safety in terms of the percentages of covering wideouts at a safety position. Like, he had the highest ranking. I don't know what it's called. I'll get back to you.
Pro Football Focus rating, yeah.
Or one of those. He had the highest rating. The thing that they said he couldn't do, he's shown you. He's been outside on the island with wide receivers. He's been outside on the island with tight ends. He's locked down receivers on the inside. He's made pivotal plays, and he's been able to track passes while in coverage, which is what they said he couldn't do, which is why he went in the second round. He's done all that in 3 years and gotten better and shown he might have some of that Ronnie Lott year 1, year 2 DB skills about him. Brian Branch, he's official. I watched that, man.
Yeah.
He can play the cornerback position, and he is a very reactionary, but also he knows where to be, which means he's watching film.
Not many guys hit harder than Ronnie Lott. If Brian Branch even gets close to that realm, Lions fans will be thrilled. You've been in closed-door meetings before. Did you see the story about Joel Embiid?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I did not.
So Joel Embiid, they had a closed-door meeting a year ago. He said, I'm not doing closed-door meetings anymore because somebody leaked what took place in the closed-door meeting. And he came out and publicly said, that whoever did it is a piece of blank. So he says that goes back to the trust thing. Once you cross that, you can't expect me to be part of a team meeting ever again. That's just not going to happen. Now, I'm not a huge Joel Embiid fan.
Why are they having closed meetings anyway?
But
like, Philly, just give it up. Like, they don't even need closed.
Yeah, right.
They don't need
live
streaming.
streaming. No one cares.
What can come of a closed door meeting in Philadelphia? I don't get it. Paul George,
perhaps airing of dirty laundry. The rumor was, or the story was, the belief was that Tyrese Maxey called him out for being tardy to a lot of events, games, practices, whatever the case may be. I don't want to dive into their dirty laundry. Tyrese Maxey's, I think, a really good player. Maybe didn't have the type of year you expected him out of last year. Joel Embiid can't seem to stay healthy, but I digress.
But he played in the Olympics.
What is sacred in sports that you cannot cross the line with?
Locker room stuff. Like locker room conversation. That's why when AB got in trouble when he was this last year in Pittsburgh with the playoff game and he face stream
live streaming.
Like that is an absolute no. Like I'm not that old. I played in the league when you had phones, camera phones, I had social media, I had IG, I had all that. Relax. That's sacred.
Hey, would you have
like
a BlackBerry?
That locker room is sacred. A lot of things happen in that locker room, and you deal with it. I won't tell you a team. I won't tell you a city. I just tell you a story. I was in blank, and a particular player on the team at the time had gone out after curfew, Saturday, stayed out, and then when he came back with a female to his room, which I at least get another room on a different floor. I didn't get it. Came back, 100%. Coach was waiting. Whole little blew up, whatever. Coach came to us. It was 5 players he came to, and he said, hey, look, what should be, this? Keep in mind, he's married.
Oh.
He's married.
Oh.
Story never got out.
Wow.
Story never got out. His wife never found out. No, she never found out. Well, maybe, but she didn't find out from us. It never got talked about around people. Never got talked about in the media. The media never brought it up. Never came up.
Only a select few players
Only
knew?
a select few. 5 players knew. I mean, we told other players on the team, but once again, it still stayed within there.
Good for you guys.
That's
to keep
how
it
it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like that is the relationship that you're supposed to have with guys on your team. You can't let team business get out, because once you do that, it fractures that trust. And now you know what happens. 53 guys become one. Because now I know if this is what the team is, there's no trust, like there's no vibe here. All right, I'm out for self. I'm coming to work. I got nothing to say to anybody. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. Bring my hard hat, my lunch pail. Then I'm going home, and I'll talk to my friends from Detroit. Yo, what's up? What's going on in the city, man? What's new? Well, there's nothing much around here. That's what it becomes if you don't have that trust.
What was the conversation between that player and the 5 who originally knew shortly thereafter? How did you guys handle it with him personally?
Don't tell my wife, and please don't not let me start. Because the thing was, if he doesn't start, now there's questions. Why didn't he start? And those questions have to be answered, because the media has the right to ask that question. His family has the right to ask that question. So it was a hefty fine, and he got put on some probationary things.
So I get the first one, but as a player and a team leader, why would you lobby for the second? That he, just because you didn't want to face the media, or you didn't want to have that player face the media, doesn't there have to be some repercussions for somebody who broke team curfew and team trust?
There's repercussions of another kind. A lot of times, I learned this in college. Lloyd would always do things like the stadium was his best friend at 5 a.m. So a lot of times the guys would get in trouble or do things like, we're going to punish you, but we'll punish you this way. There were things that we did with that player, or that coach did for that player, that he had to abide by, and things he had to do like he was in college. But he tried to save his name. Every team won't do that, I'll tell you that.
Very interesting.
Yeah, every team won't do that.
That's
just stay out the strip club. You've been night.
Easier said than done. So.
Well, the night before a game after curfew.
Oh yeah, In that case, yes, you're right.
Like, it's cool to go before curfew. Like, we'll go and have a drink. Maybe eat some wings. Shout out Lou Will. And enjoy some entertainment until 8:30, and you come back for curfew. But you getting back at 12 in the morning, it lets us know that you don't really care about the game anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like you're taking off to Cabo for crying out loud.
Well,
you're going out. You're having a drink with some of your buddies.
Going to Cabo having drinks is dangerous. You might lose your spot.
Very dangerous. Ask Tony Romo. Let's ask. Let's look at the chat a little bit. Somebody said watching Barry was like watching a torso and legs. They were not part of the same body.
Shout out Stephen Baffy.
I hate the Niners, but Ronnie Lott was awesome. I loved Ronnie Lott. I actually like Merton Hanks. I thought he was really good, believe it or not. I really like Ken Norton Jr. Jerry Rice was unbelievable. But Joe Montana was my guy. I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you that Jesse Sapolo was the best offensive lineman, but I liked all those guys.
49ers are my favorite team of all time. Like, they were my team. Like, my dad played for the Lions. I'm from Detroit.
Because? Why were they?
49ers, because Jerry Rice is what I got introduced to, and they won. Winners are appealing.
Yeah.
The 49ers won in the
right.
80s.
You're
When
right.
I started watching, Jerry Rice was the greatest receiver, arguably the greatest football player of all time. And then when Montana hangs him up, my favorite quarterback of all time plays for the 49ers in the lefty, number 8, Steve Young. He and Warren, one of my favorite quarterbacks. Funny Merton Hanks story. You know that he used to wear the wristband around his neck and do the dance.
And he's got a really high neck too.
Right.
Yeah.
He had all types of infractions as it relates to uniform, dress code violations that could cost money, this, that, and the third. Fast forward 2005, I'm on the field and I'm wearing some Michigan attire in warm-ups, which is illegal. You got to wear the NFL sanctioned stuff, which was Reebok at the time. Guess who comes up to me who's head of uniform protocol? Freaking Merton Hanks. So Merton comes up to me and he said, Braylon, man, you can't wear that Michigan stuff on sideline. I said, I know you're not talking. I said, you of all people, Merton Hanks? So I thought that was a funny full circle moment.
Yeah, that's really good. This is really good too. I could never root for anyone other than Detroit, but I did like other players. That's a really good way to put it. Like you like certain players, loved Earl Campbell, but can't say that if they're playing somebody other than Detroit, I can root for them. Right. Is that okay? So I can love you blue. I can root for Dan Pastorini and Mike Renfro and Earl Campbell and Stan Edwards, right? I can do all that. Bruce Matthews, unbelievable player. I can root for all those guys, but if they were playing Detroit, absolutely not. But it's funny because I would want to see them play Detroit. You know?
You can call me a hater. Like, look, man, like if my team, if the 49ers, in fact, I rooted for the 49ers against the Lions at the Silverdome on Monday Night Football.
Oh, man. Wow.
And I was pissed. I was like, the only game, Detroit finds a way to beat the 49ers. So, yeah, I was a 49ers guy.
I think the winning does matter. And I think that's what's, in addition to all the other things, really thrilling for us in Detroit is that I think people nationally enjoy watching the Lions. I think they've probably, I don't know if they've enjoyed watching the Tigers so much just yet, but I think they're getting there, getting accustomed. The All-Star game sure helped, getting accustomed to a lot of the players. And Cade Cunningham, it's hard not to like him. Not just because he's a really good player, but he's fun to watch.
Yeah,
the Lions have been a fun team to watch over the last 2 seasons, for sure, 2.5 seasons. And I think more people, I can imagine a kid in Boise, Idaho, Las Vegas, Nevada, or Los Angeles, California saying, you know what? I really like watching the Lions. I don't know if I'm so far yet where I'm their biggest fan or buy a jersey, but when I go to grade school and we have this conversation, me and my buddies, well, we're on the slide, I'm going to say I like the Lions.
I think a lot of the country, Kool-Aid, a lot of the country is in love with the Lions. They're in love with the Tigers. They're in love with the Pistons because they see the team aspect of it. All three of those teams, even the Red Wings as well, they haven't made it to the playoffs, but shout out to our team. They do play together. They are cohesive. Shout out to Dylan Larkin. But they love the team aspect. They love watching Zach McKinstry and Kerry Karps and Riley Green. They love the togetherness. They love what the Lions do. I think nationally, though, they started not to like the Lions fans. I think they love the Lions still.
Because they travel so well, or what?
Well, they do travel well. We travel extremely well. We're starting to turn into something. Like, I think Bill's Mafia.
We a problem.
Bill's Mafia is the same thing they were when they first started. People still view them the same way. They're crazy, but they're crazy to each other.
Right.
Like,
well, Cheeseheads, Dog Pound.
Right.
I've been to just about every football stadium in the National Football League. I love the passion of some of those teams.
I love it too.
I'm trying to figure out where Detroit fits in and why somebody outside of Detroit would think they're annoying.
Well, I know Packers fans think we're annoying.
Well, but they've always felt that way. Yeah, that's a little different, I think.
We have some people within our fan base, I think, that are dominating the fan base that are wild on the road. That's what I would say.
Oh, all right.
Very cryptic message.
Right.
Very cryptic.
And they take over concourses,
but
ballroom,
you know
ballroom
who I'm
dancing.
talking about.
The ballroom dancing videos are the best.
There is a question in the chat for Braylon, and maybe at the end of the shows we have some people throw some of these questions in for you guys, like a little mailbag. But Steve O Baby says, Braylon, how late did you stay up when you were traveling with the team? And did you bring anything that you like, video games or anything? So they want to know what those road trips were like for you, Braylon Edwards. And, you know, make sure that what you share is what we can put on Fox 2.
Like, what wouldn't be allowed on Fox 2, man? I don't have anything like that.
Shout out to Braylon,
I could
man.
never sleep. Like, I was a guy that couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep the night before a game in college. I couldn't sleep the night before a game in high school. And I couldn't sleep the night before a game in the NFL. It didn't matter what level I was at. It didn't matter if it was a bad team. It didn't matter if I was doing good, if I wasn't playing. I just couldn't sleep. So I would stay up till 3, 4 in the morning watching Rocky movies or watching something from Sylvester Stallone in the 80s. That would get me going. That would put me to sleep.
Good job, Rambo.
I was 100%. Come on, man. With John Rambo, what you know about that, man? First Blood.
Yeah, absolutely.
First Blood is a low-key great movie. Brian didn't he?
First Blood 2 is pretty good too.
It is.
Yeah.
See? My guy over there. But I was the gaming guy. So I had the portable Sony. This will date me a little bit.
Please say the PSP.
PSP. That's where I was going.
Go.
I had the PSP. But this was, you couldn't do everything on one. Now you get a phone or a Mac, you're good. I had the iPad. No, excuse me. I'm a little ahead of myself. I had the MacBook Pro. I had a Sony Vaio. Don't ask me why I had 2 laptops. I had 3 phones. I had a DVD player.
This is all before NIL, folks. All before NIL.
This is the NFL, though. This is the NFL. Wink, wink. No, but I had iPod. I had all that in my bag, and I would just go between all of it in the course of a night. Now, thinking about the game, I could not sleep at all. It's always nerves.
How were you? Did you ever get into like the Madden games and all of that? Did you ever play
Trash.
as
Like, I was good. Madden 04 through Madden 03 through 05. I was okay.
Yeah.
Like, I was good in that realm, but never one of the best guys on the team. I never could beat some of my friends. Like, just put Braylon out wide and throw Hail Marys.
So if you're on to all that stuff, your roommate, what are they doing? Wearing a mask to go to sleep because they've got the bright lights of all the games you're playing?
I'm also weird and quiet too. So like, when I know it gets to that space of, all right, well, one, I didn't have a roommate after the first 2 years, but when the roommate, I'll sit on the other side of the floor and like have it so the lights on the floor, it can't really illuminate too loud, too bright. Hey, look, man, you do what you got to do.
Could you not sleep because you couldn't wait for the game, or just because you're in a hotel, or the anxiety of the whole thing?
I can sleep in hotels. It was just because it was a game.
Gotcha.
Like, I was just the nerves, man. I was just ready. I'm thinking of all the ways that it could play out. Like when we run this play, it could go this way, or it could go this way, or this could happen, or what if you see this coverage, or what if you see that coverage? I was just thinking of all the ways the game could play out. You know, playing the game in your head before you play it.
Some of my favorite stuff in the chat, people start bringing up, old players that we've been talking about. It's funny, somebody said Stabler had an awesome tight end. Yeah, his name is Dave Casper.
Ken Stabler.
Okay, Dave Casper was pretty damn good
87.
back in the day. Yeah, and somebody brought up a really good name. He was kind of roided out, but he was a little bit of a madman.
David Boston.
They said Lyle Alzado. David Boston could fit, I suppose, if you'd like it to.
At 268, a wide receiver is nuts. And oh, by the way, he's 6'2". That was crazy.
Yeah, he was pretty yoked. Go ahead, Kool-Aid.
Look, no, just got to make sure that we pay some shout out to Greg. He says, I love the Kool-Aid laugh, but we got to pay some more attention to the chat family as well. We do have the poll, and we got some super chats we got to read before we close up here. He says, would you pay Aiden Hutchinson $45 million right now or wait till next offseason? That's what we asked the chat family in the poll. And you know what? 53% of the people actually agree with Shep and Bray. They would wait right now. They're not giving them the 45. So you guys have swayed them. If they called y'all a hater, then we got 53% haters in the chat, man. But I think that you guys even swayed me as it relates to how I look at Hutchinson. He's going to ball out. He's going to get it. But we got 3 super chats in the chat. Shout out to you guys for supporting the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. The boys was cooking.
Appreciate you.
We got $4.99 super chat from Michigan Go. He says, what are Shep's thoughts on Michigan basketball this upcoming season?
They're going to be a preseason top 5. I think Dusty May's a really good basketball coach. They will be, I don't know if they'll be preseason Big Ten favorites. They'll be in the discussion. It's going to be a really good season for them at Chrysler Center, I think.
Yeah, hey, we got another one for Shep as well. Dante151, he says, I can finally say this. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Crew, Shep, and I have to ask you this. Who do you think is the odds-on favorite to win D2 high school football in the state of Michigan.
Oh, my gosh.
They're digging deep.
I am not going to lie to you, all right? I'm not going to pull any punches. I don't get ready for those games until maybe a month before the state championships.
But you be so on point, though.
So, well, I appreciate it. I've enjoyed it. I've done it for about 30 years. It's been a great tradition for me. It's a labor of love. They won't be on the TV network any longer. I don't know if I'll do them this year, but I'm not going to try and, snow job you. I don't know right now. I don't know.
Shout out to Shep, man. I'm telling you, it's an honest show. What up, though, bro?
Before
we
we
got
go,
one more super chat.
We were talking. You got one more?
One more.
Hold on. That's fine.
Got you.
I may have a different position. We were talking about the best positions in Detroit Lions. I think I would change my tune because I think this is the best position in the NFL.
I can't think of what you would be referring to. Maybe
Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, the running back, the backfield.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's in the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of the strongest position on the team, the running backs.
And I love Montgomery. I do. I don't think he should have started the playoff game, but that's a different story.
Thank you.
I think you agree, Ricky? So we can call this thing a sweep.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, we talked about this before on the show. Yeah.
Ricky and I did. We never talked about it with Shep. Like,
he definitely
I had that conversation with everybody, and I will still have it. Them starting David Montgomery because he was back, and not starting Jahmyr Gibbs, who was the hottest player at the time, not named Saquon Barkley, and maybe even including him. I know that they still got the lead, but what happened in this moment it's a very psychological deal. The Washington Commanders, they came in the game, they heard all about how good this offense was, all these record-breaking things, and Ben Johnson, and he's this, and Jared Goff behind this offensive line, it's Penei Sewell, you got Jahmyr's going this way, and Montgomery's going this way, and J-Mo runs 4-2. When they went 3 and out, the defense of the Commanders was like, we got these guys. Yeah. Yes, the Lions came back and took the lead and had the lead, but that defense knew that they could play with that team, and the offense did a hell of a job of keeping them off balance with Jaden Daniels. But that 3 and out was the end of the game for me. I promise.
That is, I believe, and this is a good trade. It's fine, but it's Dan Campbell respecting a veteran, is what it is. I don't truly give him the truth serum. There's no way he says, I think David Montgomery's, he deserves to start because of what he's done. No, Jahmyr Gibbs should have started. And Dan Campbell's forgotten more football than I'll ever know. True. But I think that's a guy who played in the league and said, you know what? That's a guy who I greatly respect. He's a veteran. He deserves this moment.
Yeah,
and it was the wrong moment, I believe. Last one from the Super Chat, and then we'll say goodbye on a Friday afternoon.
Hey, we never went this long.
Yeah, we got one more. Burn with the $5 Super Chat, man. He says, because Lions fans will take shots at all 4 sports teams and college teams, I've seen people use U of M and the Red Wings to trash Minnesota fans. Thank you guys for the Super Chats and the support.
Yeah, really appreciate that. Look, I've been to Minnesota in all 4 sports. I don't notice them as being trashy at all.
Yeah.
It's not like certain other markets, Chicago, but I haven't noticed that from Minnesota. In fact, Minnesota Twins and Minnesota Vikings fans, anytime I've gone there and broadcast, have been actually pretty good about it.
Skull.
Yeah. We'll miss you on Monday, but you'll be participating in really important.
The Champion Circle Golf Outing, which is Sharon Moore's Golf Classic. Last year was the first year, obviously, his first year as a head coach, and then this will be his second. It's at the Cardinal, which we talked about. I'm going to actually have Kool-Aid or not Kool-Aid, excuse me, have somebody come out there. We're going to get some sound bites.
Charles and bring some pictures, too, will you?
I'll have a ton of pictures. I have some sound bites for you. I have a couple of interviews, including Coach Jerome.
Good. We will talk about that on Tuesday. In the meantime, we wish you all a very happy weekend. Thanks for watching the Braylon Edwards Show here on Woodward Sports, Monday through Friday, 2 till 4. Good afternoon.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.